Let's see here now. Something else is going on because I got a display up. Got to figure out how to get this stupid thing off. And let's see here. I should be in the stream. So this is not working, right? Lovely. Always a great day. Let's see here now. Let's go with this one. There we go. Now I can do that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you are. Whenever you're watching, I do hope it's a good one. I do want to welcome you. This is the Brew Crew. I am going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. I'm going to catch up with the chat so far. And for those of you joining from Salty Stream, thank you very much. Let's see here. Getting caught up. All right. BK Dan, morning all. Hope it is morning all. Hope is all is well here. Yes, it is BK Dan. Did I see my message? Star Trek Nitpickers Kapla, Captain Trek and all. Hop Hop, Professor Engage. Good morning, Professor. Good morning, Mr. Grant Gregory. Let's see here now. Blah, blah, blah. Good morning, Salty Trucker. Good morning, Kronos. Let me go ahead and drop the link right now. Let's see here now. And good morning, or good afternoon, Yitza. Good morning, Ervik Sonder. And what's going on? Let's see here now. Let's just skip everything that isn't relevant. There we go. We got Salty Trekker and Mr. Grant Gregory in the house.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, as far as the topic, let's just continue on where you were leaving off.
Sure.
So, why do you think that so many people have joined the bandwagon for the hate train, as I like to call it?
I think it's easy. I think it's like the low hanging fruit. Honestly, I mean, how much work is it to articulate? Like, if I disagree with, let's say, I think Grant's shirt is horrible, right? I just don't like black and white plaid for some reason, and so
it's clearly tartan. I mean,
okay, so I need to make an argument and construct an argument as to why that shirt is bad, or I can just insult him and say I'm awesome. You know, if I insult him, then that makes it easy. If I just call Grant a douchebag, and then that takes care of everything all at once. You know.
Oh, you've been reading your damn messages from me, haven't you? Oh, never mind.
I've been.
That's what it is.
Well,
obviously I don't have a problem with plaid since I like.
I mean, that's why they don't call you the sweet trekker.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have noticed that since I have wanted to try to focus more on the positive, that my views have dropped, but the duration that people are staying is longer.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't care about the number of views so much as people enjoying themselves in the chat. If they're staying longer, they're enjoying it. So
it's a difference between having something that appeals to a lot of people and appeals to the people who mean something to you, and I think that's the difference.
Right. It's a lowest common denominator thing too. It's very easy. I mean, if you're pumping out hate, and I'm not trying to be hyperbolic here. I mean, hate is a powerful emotion, and it casts a wide net. It's something that people latch onto. And especially these days, with all the crap going on in the world, all the various things that people have to be frustrated with, if you're just spouting rage about almost anything, people are going to gravitate towards it. And
Did something happen tonight? Because did you have a stream, Salty, or
I just finished my stream. Yeah.
okay? That's the problem. Half the time I don't get notified. I have to go to individual channels to find out
That's
who I'm
YouTube, and
actually
it's
subscribed to.
it's.
Yeah,
Remember the old days before Google, when if you subscribe to someone, you would just get those notifications instead of getting notifications for everything you don't subscribe to.
and you would actually get the same notifications down the side,
Yeah,
for videos that you hadn't seen. Yeah,
yeah. Man, those were great days, weren't they? You know what
I
I miss?
enjoyed them.
You know what I miss more than anything else back in the old days of YouTube is the response videos.
That was so good because they were a direct link. You could go. It was
Yeah,
the RE one, and it would show up above normal chat.
right.
Also, that was also around the time where you would actually have star ratings, so you could legitimately go. You know what? I didn't dislike it. I didn't like it. I gave it a 3. You got a much more broad version of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they're going for again.
But it also allowed, like, if Captain Trek puts a video up and says, "Hey guys, I think that black and white cotton shirts are great," then but I have an opinion about it. Instead of simply putting a thumbs up, putting a thumbs down, I could actually record my own video and saying, "Well, I think this is the way you should wear your shirts," and attach my video to Captain Trek's video. And then Captain Trek, if he thought my video was engaging, could then do a response video to my video, and we can actually have a good conversation going.
Yeah,
And
it's like a visual version of like Reddit or Twitter, and it
yeah,
worked. And there was no reason that people got rid of it.
right.
Like there was legitimately there was no things like, oh, there's been a lot of hate videos because
No, the
you got
reason
to
was
you got to choose.
Google wanted to appeal to corporate video makers. That's what it was. And
That's
corporations don't do that kind of thing.
no Google doesn't do that.
I
Our
know.
overlords don't
What am I
either.
thinking?
Yeah,
Speaking of evil corporations, how you doing, Bird?
Kapla.
Hello world, it's Berto Bray 5. Kapla.
How was your birthday, buddy?
It was pretty good, thank you. Thank you everybody who was there. It was more love and comments and whatnot from the community we expected, and
more
being I
cash.
couldn't see nephew O'Prey, it was a close second.
Everybody's looking forward to when nephew Prey finally
over.
takes you down
Yeah,
and takes over.
it'll be a lot less work for me, so
Well, yeah,
I'm
you'll be
okay
dead.
with it. It'll be fine.
I mean, isn't that how it works? Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
you're okay with death?
I will be by the time he's ready. Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's ready this year or next year, but
I mean,
anyway.
you might want to check on that just to be sure.
Listen,
Why
I
not?
just want. I don't want. I want to be surprised.
You'll
don't
be
wanna know.
surprised
Oh,
already.
you will be.
I'm
I-
just picturing like Charlie right now holding a knife, standing over the bed. Right?
I don't know. There's been a history in my
Kapla.
family of people who were dying, especially my father and his father, knowing it was going to be their night to die. Talking about seeing, actually, the way they said they saw children, but like angel children who'd come and
Oh,
my
I'm
father,
gonna go to Kuroga right now and strap some wings onto Charlie.
told my mom to take his stuff home that night, and my grandfather had told it to my dad to take his wallet home the night. And after being in the hospital for like 3 months, he knew that was the night he was going. nobody put two and two together. I was like, yeah, take my wallet home tonight.
So, Bird,
Yes.
how's your blood pressure right now?
Actually, my blood pressure is on the low side, and I haven't taken blood pressure medicine in almost a week.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure it wasn't elevated or anything, because I may need you to do some punishment of one of your citizens here.
Wait. Punishment of one of my citizens.
Yes.
It's not Matthew, is it?
Yes.
I think that's what he was
Listen,
alluding
was
to.
he a little late to one of your...
No. This isn't. Come on. If he was late to something, that would just be Matthew being Matthew. No, on Friday we watched Star Trek V. You know, we've been going through the movies in order.
I know, and I'm very sorry I couldn't stay awake to watch Star Trek.
That's okay. But after we watched the movie, he's still thinking that Star Trek V is better than Star Trek 4.
What?
Is he anti-whale? Like, what's the issue?
Okay.
I believe he's anti whale.
He's anti-sea mammal.
Yeah, he doesn't like dolphins and other mammals that live in the ocean.
I understand dolphins. Dolphins are just a pack of bullies. So I don't like dolphins, but yeah.
And humpback
maybe
whales,
he doesn't like Elizabeth's shoe.
They're
Maybe
pretty ugly as you know, sea mammals go.
I mean that's true. I never thought of it that way, but
the only thing they really look better than
you have a good
are what are those? Manatee. Manatees are really the only uglier.
I don't know. They're pretty.
Oh, they are ugly.
They don't have
yeah.
But they don't have a big dirty nose in front to violate you with.
Well, I was gonna say like a killer whale and orca. That's a beautiful looking sea mammal, black and white and shiny, almost like a giant penguin without the beak.
So, Bird dreams about sex with giant penguins.
No,
everyone's got to have a hobby.
I guess.
Oh, he likes killer things, so he must like. That's why he likes Osseo Prey, because he likes everything it kills. So yeah, that's it. One of the most deadly places on Earth. I'd never live there.
Why is that?
Captain Track is scared of being killed by crocodiles and dingoes.
Well, you know, only sane people are scared of being
dingoes
killed.
Won't kill you. Yeah, dingoes won't kill you. They will chew you, and then they'll wait for something to come and rescue you, and then they'll go and chew them, and then they'll repeat the cycle. Oh no! Well, dingo
could eat your baby.
Yeah, I mean, it did, but not my baby, but yeah, a baby, it did. Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Once Charlie is out of the range of dingo eating, this so frail be.
You know, if Yitza is still here, I would love to see Yitza do a variant of your image, Bird, doing Charlie with the same head ridges.
Oh yeah,
as you, only like standing behind you, holding what's the name of the little Klingon blade? The Docklick?
The Backlick.
Is that what it's called? I always get the blades mixed up. The little one, but like holding it like
dagger.
The
sides pop out.
Yeah.
Just
like holding that, getting ready to take over the throne. I think that would be awesome.
I mean, why would you attack someone with such a primitive, small weapon?
Well, it wouldn't
easy to handle.
Yeah.
Should just have a disruptor.
Well, I'm sorry. Wouldn't the prey tradition be to do it with a knife?
No.
Stab you in the back?
The safest.
No, never.
Somebody.
That seems like the prey way to do
it
would be to stab someone in the back.
No.
Nah, you shoot him in the back. Much easier.
Well, I know you like to shoot people in the back. I experienced
Preferably
that
on
firsthand.
vaporize. You were destroying the Temple of Peace. I went
Temple
through.
of Peace.
I went out of my way to build this
To
beautiful
booby trap a building
Temple
and
of
try to get
Peace
me to go
in
inside
the
of it.
game. There were no booby traps. It was a legit attempt at a peaceful coexistence. And the first thing the guy does is start drilling under my beautiful temple. That was
I
in
didn't do any
beautiful
damage to
land.
the building. I was just going
You
underneath to
were
make sure that you didn't
destroying
put
the
any
environment
explosives underneath.
around it. Why would there be explosives?
Really?
If you're
You're
going
asking
to
me why would
dig
you of all
through,
people put
if
explosives
you
underneath the building?
if you had dug through the floor, then at least I could have repaired it.
If I dug through the floor, you would have accused me of damaging your building.
Oh, well,
I
I mean,
would
either
have,
way,
but
you
at
both
least you
did.
could say I could have repaired it without you ruining. The way you were
Right,
doing
but I
it,
would
there
have
was
had to
no
have gone
way.
inside the building in order to do that too.
And oh my God, what's the worst that could have happened? Maybe it would have blown up in a video game. But you wouldn't have because there wasn't anything. There were no explosives.
Mm-hmm.
So
But they thought
instead
they
of
might have
having
been.
the
That's why they
moral
invaded.
superiority, you could have had it this whole time. You like a crazy madman. Say, oh, let's jackhammer under this church, this religious shrine.
This place
And you
of faith. Yeah.
Yeah, and you start building a tunnel under it, like you're a freaking drug lord, and you got to make your way down to Mexico.
He was mining salt.
Wow,
through
now
it.
you're
That's
just
the
getting
worst part.
racist, Bird.
Yeah,
Wow.
mining salt.
You're gonna come up in like 2 or 3 miles and say he should have made a left turn at Albuquerque.
Makes sense. Got old Bugs reference.
Bird. No.
Word.
No.
What?
No.
My hearing, Scott, did you call him a Doug Lord or a drug lord?
Oh,
What's that?
no.
Now I'm picturing the kids show Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
And like picturing Doug sitting on a throne.
Wearing the same outfit week after week.
I am
Do.
Lord Doug.
Yeah.
Better than that.
I find it weird.
Football-headed
This is probably
Arnold.
about the 10th. This is the 10th, probably the 10th, maybe 11th stream I've been on with Bird of Prey. And this is the most I've ever heard him talk in all of these ones. And it's just to accuse someone of desecrating a temple.
That's what Bird does.
It's
Yeah.
true. It still upsets me.
I mean, he's awake,
To
so
this
I'm happy about that. So
Not to be a bad luck sign or anything, but it does seem that you're not coughing quite as much. Bird.
Yeah, I would say the antibiotic is helping.
That's good.
Thank you.
or you're winning. That's the way to look at it. You're winning.
Well, I'm winning on
Or
some
the early
fronts
stages of death or
and
something.
not other fronts.
No, you're winning at the moment. That's all that matters. Take small victories.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I had terrible sleep the last couple of days, comparatively speaking, since before I went on the antibiotic.
Turdistan. Oh my god, that's an old throwback.
Yeah, Bird. I use BD as abbreviation for birthday. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I haven't been reading any text.
No, that was a while ago you asked. What does my
Oh.
bed have to do with it or something like that?
Oh, BD, it was birthday.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Birthday or bird day?
Bum.
Oh.
The question that makes you go,
So let's see here. If you were to change the way you were to do your channel, what would you do, Salty? If you were to create a whole new channel?
Oh, that's a tough one. Because the problem is that like, barring any health concerns, that's the thing that like, because I don't like what I'm doing now. It's just the problem is that I'm unable to do much right now because most of my time is taken up with dealing with Social Security and the doctors and all that crap.
Trust me, I remember those days for me.
Yeah. once the dust settles from all that, which I'm hoping will be, sometime first quarter next year, then I'm planning on basically not rebranding the channel, but kind of soft relaunching things because I'm going to start doing more edited content and stuff. But I think I probably would have started the movie night thing with Matthew earlier on because I've been really enjoying that. I think that's been a lot of fun, and it's been a good community builder. And same with the Jeopardy. I think that's been a lot of fun. Although if I were doing it differently, I'd probably would have put them on different nights so that we could dedicate a little more time to each.
Right.
I mean, they are fun though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And,
No, I enjoy them.
Yeah. And I do, I do, man, I can't thank John DeMarco and Matthew enough for helping me on both of those. So that I think I would put a little more into earlier on. But honestly, from the beginning, I just would have tried to have been positive from the beginning. And that's where I think when we were talking about it earlier, you mentioned that it's really easy to go negative and get more, which I experienced when I did my big Last Jedi review. That's when my channel first grew. And then when I decided to stop being so negative, that's when my channel stopped growing. So,
I mean, there's a difference in my mind,
mm-hmm.
at least. There's a difference between the genuine reaction which people were having, and almost a manufactured rage,
right?
Which is, I just found absolutely insulting.
Well, and that's the problem is that while I don't think that when I did my Last Jedi review, I don't think that any of it was disingenuous, but at the same time, it helped fuel the fire that became what we have now.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I took it down. It's not that I feel like I'm not totally embarrassed by everything that I said, but at the same time, I know that I helped build the house of cards that is now standing. And I don't like that. And so I want to, as best as I can, while I can't distance myself from that, I can at least say I am not going to be a willing participant in it. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult because, yes, this stuff still outrages me. But I'm not going, and Discovery season, what is it, 4 now, is right around the corner. And no doubt, hopefully my blood pressure meds kick in nice and keep me under control, because otherwise I will die. Don't want that to happen. So but I will no doubt be somewhat outraged over some of the content that's going to happen in Discovery season 4. But I am going to be very careful moving forward that I will only be outraged over the content, that I'm not going to be railing on the intent behind the content. I'm not going to be talking about the agenda. I'm not going to be talking about the producers. I'm not going to be talking about the actors, because let's be real, they're all a bunch of Hollywood leftists anyway. So if you want to go off on Hollywood liberalism, you know, get in line.
So can I ask you a question, Solly?
Yeah,
I first got into your channel where you did I think it was Is Falcon and the Winter Soldier Woke. That's when I first I think first subscribed. I've seen some of your other videos, but I
sure.
first subscribed to you on that, um and then I think it was your airplane comparison videos
Yeah,
that
yeah,
they
yeah.
got me to.
So
Yeah, that
some of
that's
the more
that's
recent stuff.
yeah, yeah. I mean, because yeah, I'm relatively new when it comes to this sphere of YouTube and everything. But when with what you're talking about not talking about stuff behind the scenes, do you think what you did in that, I think it was like an 8 minute video, is are you going to stick to that style of content, or you're not going to
Yeah, I
talk
didn't
about?
really like the Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff. I don't think that. I mean, like, I didn't have correct me if I'm wrong, because but with Falcon and Winter Soldier, I didn't really have a problem with that show. I know that some people did. I do think that there's, yes, there is some, like the racial tension is a part of the storyline, but it is a part of the storyline. It's not like, oh, we're inserting it just to insert it. No, it's an organic part of the story. So it actually makes sense in that one, especially the idea. And this is something that especially being in a multiracial marriage. My wife and I have been together for over 30 years, and watching American culture together since 1987, and what people, especially in black and white couples, have been through in the last 30 years. Um, and seeing what they do in this movie, like people are in the show, people like freaking out over the police stop, and it's like, dude, that happens all the time. It really does. And I understand that people want to write it off and say, oh, that never happens. Well, maybe it didn't happen to you. Great. Maybe it doesn't happen in your neighborhood. Great. But it does happen. And I understand that it's not, and this is the problem. It doesn't happen every single time, but it also doesn't not happen every single time. And this show, that was a part of the story. I didn't have a problem with it. And yeah, I talked about it, but I didn't make, but yeah, I don't think that, I think that type of content, I think, is okay. I wasn't trying to go off on the writers or the, like, I don't think that, oh gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name. The guy that plays Falcon now, I love him, but I can't remember his
Anthony
name.
Mackie.
Yeah, thank you, Anthony Mackie. I think he did a great job. My only problem with the general framing of the story was, I think his speech to the senator drug on a little too long. If that speech had been cut down to about a quarter of what it was, that would have been perfect. But
Well, I mean, yeah, if they take it the line, I'm a black man with a shield. What don't I know? And then they ask him what do we do? He's like, I don't know. I
right.
mean, it was designed purely and simply to make him look like Falcon is my favorite MCU character. He wasn't in the comics,
Mhm.
but his modern interpretation made me fall in
I love him.
love with that
Yeah.
character. I loved Anthony Mackie. This is the guy who was played Papa Doc on 8 Mile. That's when I first remember him, and he was in Hurt Locker and all these other movies. And I'm like, and now he's a superhero. This was so awesome to me. And then I see him in this, and for years he was my avatar. Like, I've got my face now because I'm actually doing stuff, but up until about 2 or 3 months ago, since 2000 and I think maybe 14, um, he's he was my avatar because that's how much I love that character. And I can't watch that series now without thinking what the writers did to that character. And I liked the way in which you articulated your thought of it, even though I disagreed with it. It wasn't something that I was just like, I disagree with you, so I'm going to put something in the
Right.
comments. I subscribed to your channel, and I waited for you to say something else about something else, and then nothing else like that came up. And then next thing you know, I'm watching this video on airplane comparisons and that, and then all of a sudden, I completely forgot why I subscribed to you. And that's what it was, because it wasn't
Yeah.
like it wasn't a hate click or anything. It was like you had this opinion and it was so far from me, but you made sense with your one. I'm just like, I don't understand how you don't see it. Not so much from my point of view, but like what they did to the character, because I had such an emotional response to the destruction of him as a character. And
So
then,
you didn't
know,
like that they did all the racial stuff in the story then?
it wasn't as much about the racial stuff. It was about what they did to him. And I think the fact of the matter is that from the very first episode, where it was he couldn't even get a loan and all that sort of shit,
Right.
like Pepper Potts is this big racist that won't help any of the black ones out yet. But we see that all the white characters are now living in houses, and they've all got this, and they've all got that. It was
Well, I do
it,
have some problems there, and
it
don't get
was
me wrong.
it was cheap pandering, and I don't like that, especially for someone that.
Mhm.
But for me, the biggest discredit to this character was, what was his job? He was an army vet.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh,
he was a
absolutely.
military
I
vet,
will say
and he
there are some
sympathized with a
problems.
terrorist.
Mhm.
Now, you know, she's right. Her actions are right. You should invoke fear in that because you believe in it. That's never him. You introduced to him doing a counseling group for people with PTSD from all the trauma that they've suffered during war and everything. And it ends with him cradling a girl that was a terrorist that killed so many people and didn't give a shit. And he defended her and then went on a lecture for 10 minutes about why it's their fault. It's not his character. They destroyed
Right.
everything about that character.
And where
And
I think that and this is where I think that and this is a common problem in Hollywood in general, is that they're the writing in Hollywood is one pass writing these days. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, is that they come up with a story idea, they do a quick pass write, and then they just film it. They're not.
that'll do.
Yeah,
It's the idea of, if someone comes across your desk, you're like, yeah, that's
yeah,
good enough.
they're not. Yeah, it's all good enough. They're not sitting there and putting the nuance onto it, because I think you're right. There's a lot of problems in the script, but and unfortunately these days there's a lot of problems with almost every script that we see nowadays. And what they're not doing is giving the writing multiple passes and running it by people that can say, wait a minute, there's a problem here. Like, why isn't, for example, like you were saying at the beginning, why is it that he is broke right now? He's an Avenger. Do we need to write something in as there being a reason?
He's also a government agent who was very good
Right.
with everything else that he did. Like,
Right, because the Avengers
he
are
was
no
never poor
longer a
before.
private organization. If the Avengers, because the whole thing with the Sokovia Accords is that, and they actually say it, the Avengers are no longer to be a private organization, which means that they're going to be funded by the UN, which means that they should be paid by the UN. And so if they are paid for by the UN, then where's their paycheck? You know,
And why does he have to pander to some little bloke, some little white fella at a bank? It was just
well, the
too
banking
on the
scene.
nose.
I didn't have a problem with the bank scene, because keep in mind that that was more based on his sister than him. However, I do have a problem with the fact that where's his, because I understand he disappeared and now he's back. And so I could see why he'd be missing 5 years of income, and they'd be trying
But they
to figure that out.
specifically said, where's your income in the last 5 years? Like, that's the dumbest thing to ask.
Right.
Like, oh, you had income all the way up here, and then on this same day that every single person came back, you now have income coming like.
Right. And what they could have done, and it seems like, and this is where, like I said, a second pass on the script someone could have done a little bit of work with this, is you write into the fact that the economy of a world where half the population disappeared and then 5 years later came back, the economy would be in total chaos, right?
But nothing changed. That was the worst
Right,
part.
and that's
I
the
don't.
problem,
Yeah.
is that they acted like the economy was perfectly normal. They would be in this crazed economic upheaval. And so when they walked into the bank should be
Imagine the
like,
gas
we ain't
prices.
loaning money to anybody right now. You know, because,
I mean, I'm very passionate about it because he's one of my favorite characters.
Mhm.
And
Right.
and as I said, it was when you said that and you liked it and you said things. I'm like, I get that. And I'm like, just, but why didn't you say something about that? I'm like, you made sense, so I know you're going to maybe revisit or do something down the line. And then all of a sudden, you hit my Achilles heel and you
Sure.
started doing videos with Leslie Nielsen in it and everything. So I'm like, all right,
Yeah, and
I like this guy now.
unfortunately I never
Yeah.
got back. I've been wanting to, and this is another one of those things that I'll probably end up doing after we get settled into our new life next year, is I want to do eventually a complete breakdown of the MCU as a whole.
That would be great.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I want to do like character by character, film by film, the entire storyline of the Thanos arc, and then each person through the Thanos arc. There's so much material there. And
if you want to do that and you're willing to have other people on the panel,
oh, absolutely,
hit me up, man. Like, especially anything to do with Falcon. I would definitely be down for that.
I'll tell you, my favorite Falcon line in the entire MCU though is, I do what he does, only slower. That's I love that. That's just like, that sums it up right there. I absolutely love his character because he is the true best friend, and he's also the great from Winter Soldier onward. He is the great everyman character to be a ground point for you to feel like a connection to the universe, because unlike everybody, it's even more so because like Hawkeye and Black Widow, while they don't have superpowers, they are super skilled. Falcon, you just feel like he's just got some cool gear.
Yeah. And
But you never.
That's why it pissed me off when Ant-Man beat him. Like, I liked the film, but that part really pissed him off. And he's like, "Oh, I just beat an Avenger. I'm like, and then he's like, "Don't tell Cap about this." I'm like,
Yeah, but I love that. I actually like the Ant-Man scene. In fact, my favorite in Ant-Man, when they faced off and Ant-Man like, "It's the Falcon," and I was like, I busted up laughing because it's like, of all the Avengers you're gonna fight, I'd be like, "Whew, it's the Falcon." It's like, it's the one Avenger I'm most likely to survive an encounter with.
Yet he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "Oh my god, it's a fact." Yeah, he still beats him, and it's just like this big. Like, I don't like that. Like, this is a military-based guy. This is a guy who is on par when it comes to his training. Like, this guy jumps out of a plane for fun. Like, this is what this guy does. He's not scared of anything. But he's like, "Oh, make sure Steve doesn't know about what just happened, dude." He would be running through. He's like, "Dude, there was someone who's legitimately able to shrink. Like, that's never been seen." Just you make this character the perfect character in Winter Soldier, and that
he makes a joke about make sure Steve doesn't know, but then what's the next thing he does is he tells Steve.
Yeah,
I know a guy.
So
no, but he's the perfect best friend. He's the thing. He is everything that Bucky is to Steve, but he is to that Steve is to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact of the matter
funny. He is to Steve what Steve is to Bucky.
And there was the part of me at the end of I think when he gave him the shield, I was just like, "Yes, he's got the shield." And then I'm like, "No, you don't need to be him. You're Falcon. You don't need to take the place of this guy. You're your own hero. You're the."
But I like that. See, and where I think the reason that I really liked the Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a series is because and maybe it just comes from my perspective with me and my wife's relationship, is I really dig the intensity of what it would mean for a black person to take the mantle of Captain America, seeing it through the eyes of how my wife reacted at the end of Avengers Endgame when Cap gave him the shield, and she was like, "Oh hell no." She was like, no, a black man with that shield, no, that ain't working.
Well, it was the initial thing is like, yes, you're your own character. You don't need to take the place of a white character to be validated, and that was what my worry was going to be about the whole thing. And then when he gave it up in the first episode, I went, yes, that's what we need to do. Make sure that everyone knows, no, you're Falcon. And they even did certain things where they said, "Oh, you're Black Falcon." He's like, "No, you don't have to add the word black to it. I'm my character. I'm who I am."
Well, you know why they did that though too is I think that was a slap at DC because DC
Black
the word
Lightning
black
and
in front of all their black superheroes.
Yeah, I know, and I think it's especially with like with Black Lightning, it's one of the dumbest things ever. Like
Black Lightning, I love that one.
Yeah, like
Black Vulcan and black everything's black something.
Yeah. I mean, and with Marvel's credit, one of their most famous characters that has the word black in front of it is Black Panther, and the second one is Black Bolt. They definitely don't look alike. So,
Black Bolt's a white guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
In fact,
I think that's
of the three most popular characters on Marvel that have black, two of them are white because Black Widow and Black Bolt. But the funny thing is that I don't know if you have it. I have it in my collection. I don't know if you have any comics, Mr. Grant, but I have every Fantastic Four from number 25 onward.
Now I really hate you. I mean, I
am a huge Fantastic Four fan. So when the Fantastic Four movie drops, you better believe that my channel is going to suddenly become a Fantastic Four mega channel. When that movie drops, I'm going to be talking Fantastic Four.
Oh, wait, you mean Fantastic Four, not Fant Four Stick? Okay, cool.
Don't even get me. Oh, I will be talking about Fant Four Stick. Believe me, I hate that movie. You think I hate Star Trek First Contact? I hate Fant Four Stick. I mean, like, I hate Fant Four Stick more than Doomcock hates Kathleen Kennedy. All right, so that's how much
Wow.
Yeah. I absolutely hate Fant Four Stick. That movie is an abomination. Oh. Anyway, but have you seen Fant Four Stick, Captain Trek?
No, I haven't.
Oh.
You know what? Congratulations. Congratulations, sir. You've seen the two best. Actually, sorry, the three best. I'll go the three best Fantastic Four films.
Have you seen the Roger Corman Fantastic Four? You have?
No, I haven't. I need to see it. No.
Oh man. Okay, so
it has Thor in it.
Let's see. Have you seen the Tim Story Fantastic Four movies? The two mainstream ones that Fox put out.
Nope. I've really not been watching a lot of movies lately, except
well, these are older. They came out in like
2005 and 8. So
yeah,
3 and 5. Sorry, never mind.
So those are definitely movies. I don't know which ones Matthew's seen, so they'll have to come up on the Friday night shows. That Fant Four Stick, though, oh man, it is such a garbage pile of. I mean, let me put it to you this way, Captain Trek. Fant Four Stick makes Star Trek V look well made.
What?
And the funny thing is, even though Fant Four Stick has technically better production value, there are scenes, like literally cuts in the movie where you see one of the characters, her hair changes from.
Damn. You just stole my joke. I was literally about to say about Sue Storm's new power.
Damn. Yeah. Sue Storm has this great new power where her hair changes from blonde to cheap blonde wig in between shots, like randomly.
Hey,
it's like ridiculously stupid. The Thing is now, like, you remember, do you know who Korg is from the MCU, the big rock monster?
Yes.
Okay.
Voiced by Taika Waititi.
Yeah. So picture Korg only orange and naked with no junk.
Oh,
Okay.
and a mass murderer.
Oh yeah, and he's a mass murderer that
A
works for
ruthless
the government
Yeah.
and doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. And yeah, and by the way, and here's my thing. Like when people talk about, like, I don't get as worked up over gender swaps and racial swaps as some people. Like I didn't. Some people got worked up over Samuel L. Jackson being Nick Fury, but quite frankly, I don't care as long as the actor works. When Michael B. Jordan was cast as Johnny Storm, Fant Forstick has about 8 million problems. Michael B. Jordan ain't one of them. However, what is one of them is that Johnny Storm and Sue Storm are brother and sister. So if you're going to make Johnny Storm black, I'm perfectly fine with that, but you got to make Sue Storm black as well.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
They didn't, no.
They made it so that they got Michael B. Jordan, who's a great actor. So they cast him to be Johnny. And so then they cast a white actress to be Sue. And then they just said, oh, but she's adopted.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't make her Asian or.
Well, the funny thing is, like, when we first saw the movie, this is another one of those great moments because it's like, yeah, for me to say it would be racist, but for my wife, it was okay. She just like busts up laughing because it's like, yeah, show me the black family that's going to adopt a white girl. It
was oh shit, the guy who plays his father, was it Richard E. Cathy? Yeah, I mean, on the plus side, he never got to see the movie because unfortunately he passed. But he was a great actor.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They had
they had so many great actors.
They had the makings of a good cast, but the except for, I'm sorry, but the Reed was way too young. They keep, and this is a problem. They did it in the Tim Story movies. They did it again here. They keep wanting to cast Reed as being super young, like he's supposed to be a boy genius. Reed is not a boy genius. Reed should be like my age, and so Reed should be
early 20s.
Huh?
Saying salty, early 20s, like mid 20s.
Oh wow, thank you. That's very kind of you, and I think you need glasses, but thank you.
No. I don't need. You don't. Just subscribe. That's all that matters.
Yeah. No. Seriously, like the funny thing is, if you want to go comic book accurate, for the origin point of the Fantastic Four,
down the side, it's like his look.
Yeah.
He has it. It's almost like a headband.
Yeah. He should have gray hair on the sides. He should be minimum 40s, and Sue should be somewhere in her 20s. Now, if they really want to go risque and be comic book accurate in the origin, she should be in her late teens. Which, yep, that's how it was in the original.
Yeah, I know, but I think she was 14 when they first got together.
Yeah,
but,
it's like he was like in his late 30s and she was like 14 or 15, and it's like I know it was a different time. we'll let that one slide, but I would say make him in his 40s, make her in her late 20s. That would be fine, right?
Yeah.
But they keep trying to cast the young Reed Richards. That's not the right character. That's not, Reed Richards is not the boy genius. He is a man genius. And, I'm sorry, guys, but not everybody can be a child prodigy.
I mean,
Except
I didn't mind
Sheldon.
Eon. That's true. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that works, I guess. Actually, I can't really talk because I'm kind of wearing a shirt that-
Zynga. I just watched the Thursday's Young Sheldon, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't. I think the show's terrible, but yeah, like
I have not
my
even
parents.
watched that.
My parents are like, "Oh, you're into nerd culture. Here you go. Here's all this Big Bang Theory stuff." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Thank you." I mean, I didn't mind Eon or Ewan's performance in the Tim Story ones. Tim, yep. I thought he was fine. I don't think he was great. I thought he was fine. I don't think we've ever seen a proper Reed Richards.
No, nor have we seen a
And-
proper Victor Von Doom.
No, absolutely not. This is the thing. Victor Von Doom is what Thanos was to the MCU before the MCU was a thing. When it comes to Marvel, he's the greatest villain of all time.
Oh yeah, he is. He's the greatest comic book villain, period. And I already have him cast, and it's Yosef, the Random Menace. That's who should be playing Victor Von Doom. If you listen to that voice, that accent, that's what Doom should sound like.
And that's the thing. It could be anybody because you don't need a physical. You just need someone to be able to physically portray. Like Darth Vader, no one considers.
Right.
Oh my god!
But he should have an
never remember
Eastern European accent.
Yeah.
And
well, I mean, that's where he's from. I mean, he literally he became the emperor of the world twice, and got bored and gave it up twice. I mean, this is how powerful this guy is. He's the best.
Well,
villain.
he's a combination of, if you basically, like, when people ask, well, what are his powers? I'll say, well, combine Iron Man and Doctor Strange. That's Doctor Doom. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You mean like Iron Man and Doctor Strange, the two people that kind of went toe to toe with Thanos? Yes, those two guys. You know, and so those are the two people that combined make Doctor Doom.
Well, I mean, you look at everything from like '84 and Secret Wars into the modern day version of Secret Wars. You got Battle Plan and everything. It all revolves around him,
right?
And like, I mean, some of the best sort of stories, and the fact that he's one of the few people that the Skrulls can't imitate because we don't know what he looks like with it. So it's an interesting sort of thing, and I'm not gonna lie. When I saw Red Skull in Endgame, and that I was just like, "Oh my god!" It's still. I'm like, "They're bringing Doom in." I was so excited because I saw the belt, I saw the cape, and I went, "Oh no, it's the guy from Walking Dead." Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I really want to see Doom in the MC, and I mean, I'm almost more excited about them bringing in Doctor Doom than I am the Fantastic Four, because Doom is the greatest supervillain of all time.
Yeah, I mean, if you put Doom versus the Joker, which is arguably the two best from either major companies, especially when it comes to fan like love, it's so hard to put them in a battle against each other because one of them literally, unless you got Emperor Joker, where he's got the power of the cosmic, he doesn't stand a chance on any given day.
The Joker is just a great foil for Batman. Doom is a threat to the universe.
Well, he has been, a number of times.
Well, that's why I'm saying, like, Doom is and, like, you know, as they like to say now in the MCU, Doom is an Avengers level threat, right? Joker is a criminal. Now, that's not to dismiss the Joker, because he's a great villain. And, you know, if I'm gonna watch Batman, I love seeing Batman going against the Joker. Do I want to watch Superman going against the Joker? No. You know, because that's, you know, honestly, except for the Injustice story or the occasional odd man out, Superman versus the Joker just isn't interesting. But Batman versus the Joker is always interesting because Batman tries to use his detective skills, and guess what? Joker is beyond reason, and therefore a detective has a tough time reasoning out what Joker's going to do.
He's hyper sane, as they call it in the comics.
Right.
He's beyond crazy. He's beyond insane. He's hyper sane. He understands that he's a comic book character.
Right. And so, but when you're dealing with Doom is like, if Doom were in the DC universe, Doom would be a genuine threat to Superman. You know,
well, I mean, also because I mean, just even on a basic level, his power of the Mystic is it's magic based.
Right.
He can do. So, like, I mean, just even his basic sort of thing, he would be able to render Superman moot. But not only that, because of his intellect, he would be the equivalent
Right. He's
of
as smart as
Superman.
Lex Luthor. He's got tech level that's up there with Iron Man, and he's got mystical power to rival people like Dr. Fate and stuff. So, yeah, Superman would have a very tough time dealing with Dr. Doom.
Yet the best versions of him is the ones where he conquers everything, and he's not overpowered.
Right.
And it's
Well,
so
that's the
hard
thing
to
about Doom
it's
is
so
that,
hard
yeah,
it's so hard to write a character like that in film. I mean, I
right.
don't see how they could actually do that. How are
Well,
you going to make a
Marvel
character?
has done a really good job of balancing power levels so far. Like Thanos, who would have thought that they could get the Infinity Gauntlet to a relatable level? And they managed to do it for the most part. The Infinity Gauntlet, they did not make overpowered. And yet they did make it so that he could wipe out half the life in the universe.
I mean, I mean, the whole motivation was a bit was different, and it was an interesting take.
Yeah.
I'm really in love with Death, which I thought was when Hela was introduced, I genuinely thought she was going to be Death.
Oh,
And
everybody
that's what they
thought
were
that
going to
was
go
coming.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it made sense. I mean, who wouldn't kill half the universe to spend a night with her? I mean, she's a beautiful woman.
Well,
Um,
I don't know. A woman that just like randomly shoots spikes at you.
I mean, I didn't like when she killed the bloody all Thor's mates and the three. I'm just like, wait, what? Oh,
Yeah, she just completely spanked them.
and I'm like, this is MCU. We don't have no. Death is just a joke. We don't have stakes. You can't do this.
Now, it's funny because so Stan Lee says that the MCU needs to slow down. You need to stretch the Fantastic Four X-Men for at least another decade. They've been going for a decade. What's to say they're not going to take another decade for the Fantastic Four X-Men? I think we're looking at another decade-long plan.
But the problem is, look at the shit that they're putting out in between. People are getting burnt out. People don't want to watch it.
By the way, I watched Shang-Chi last night. I liked it. I don't know. Did you watch it?
I mean, I've seen it. I have my opinions on it. I think there's a lot of massive inconsistency. I think it does the idea of the Mandarin as a character a major disservice. Though I like the guy who plays not the Mandarin but the main bad guy. I think he was probably the closest thing that we've had in the MCU to a relatable and genuinely good villain. In the last 10 years. It's very rare that we get that. Like, there's maybe 2 or 3. He was good.
I liked him. I think that, but when I watched it, I was expecting, I don't know, based on the reviews, and of course, I understand right now the Phantom Menace, their whole thing is just to poop on everything, right? That's just what they're doing nowadays. And so I shouldn't be surprised that everybody put out a video saying how it's an epic fail and the worst movie ever. And no, the Superman would not poop himself if he saw the whale probe, because the whale probe is poop. Remember, the whale probe is just condensed whale poop. We've already figured that one out.
Everything is poop.
Yes. But I was actually, I really liked, first of all, I got to say the martial arts choreography was really good. Especially like the bus fight scene at the beginning that hooked me right there. I was like, holy crap, they did their work on this. This is some top-notch choreography. And then I found out it was one of Jackie Chan's guys that did the fight choreography, who unfortunately died just after the movie wrapped. That's why if you notice at the end of the credits, there's a dedication at the end in loving memory of at the end of the credits, and that's because the choreographer for the fight scenes died. So whoever choreographs Shang-Chi 2 got their work cut out for him. But that's why he used the jacket in the bus scene, because they were purposely replicating what Jackie Chan did in Rumble of the Bronx. But the fight choreography stuff was really good. I don't think that some people said, "Oh, it's just another MCU film." It didn't feel like just another MCU film to me. It felt very different.
It definitely didn't feel like an MCU film. But
And I
my,
did
my
like the bringing in Wong felt like the right person to bring in, because Wong would be the person who would be, uh, who would kind of be attracted to what's going on here. As far as mystical powers and stuff going on, more so than even Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange, while he may be the Sorcerer Supreme, Wong's been around it a lot longer. And so Wong would be like, "Hey, something's going on. I'm going to check this out."
yeah,
And
but I
so
mean, but Wong was he was irrelevant to the story. Like he was in it for the fight with bloody that, and then a post credit scene. Like it was.
well, he was
Okay,
in a couple of scenes, but
Cinnabon, I am interested in hearing what you think. So, why do you think it was the worst movie of all time?
Cinnabon is just he's
Well,
just become a member of the Phantom Menace.
well, Cinnabon hasn't seen the Eternals. That's probably why he thinks that.
I have not seen the Eternals yet, so I don't know if it's any good or not.
Okay, here's the thing. I will admit I didn't like Shang-Chi. There were certain things that I liked. I enjoyed the fact that we could actually have fight scenes. We actually had someone who could fight. The whole purpose of Shang-Chi is to build Shang-Chi up as a great character, but they spend the entire movie knocking him down until all of a sudden his dad just gives him the rings at the end and he automatically knows how to do it. He drowns for 5.5 minutes and then all of a sudden he can survive because his mother had some connection with the dragon. Nothing's explained. There's 4 movies in Shang-Chi that are being directed all at once.
You think
And
so?
none of them are cohesive with each other.
I don't know. I got the feeling that as far as the drowning sequence, I thought the reason he survived. First of all, when he's in the water, it looks like he's about to drown, and then you see the bubbles come up and go into his mouth because the dragon is breathing into him.
There's bubbles that come. Yeah,
You
but he's
actually
still
see the
underwater, but-
bubbles come up and go into him.
Yeah. I just rewatched it a couple of days ago. Yeah.
Yeah, you actually, if you look at him, he's slowly sinking into the water, and bubbles are coming up to his face, and you see the bubbles actually center on his face and go into his nose and mouth.
So the bubbles, the air bubbles, physically go around and force
And go
themselves
into him. Yes, that's
It's
why
a
he
bit
doesn't.
weird.
It is
that,
weird,
like-
but it's magic.
I hate that idea that's magic because then it's a MacGuffin. You're like, oh, it's magic. He can do that. The whole idea of you've got this guy whose whole purpose is to open this gate, and there's this big battle, and he walks off, and no one tries to stop the one guy who can open the gate. The one person who's able to open the gate to this other dimension, and no one goes to stop him except for the one guy who he's just joined the fight 1 day ago. Is the guy that goes in there to fight him,
Because
not the
he's
people
apparently the only one that
who's defended the realm for thousands of years, whose their only purpose in life is to defend this. They would rather go off and fight something else and do. None of them do it. The writing in that last part doesn't make any sense. I enjoyed it. The forest that engulfs people and everything like that, and because you have to run through it, drive through it. Why not use a helicopter to fly over it? Because you can clearly see you can go over the trees. There's so many weird inconsistencies with it, where there was the point where you could have had such a great film out of it because you had the makings of so many different things. The whole idea of God damn it, I'll call him Mandarin for the sake of Mandarin. The Mandarin.
Mandarin
he's-
Mulligan.
Yeah, his story with his wife and everything, and how he gave it up and did all that. I got that, even to the point where he was so angry at his son because he didn't save.
I
his
thought he
mother
was
when
the best part of the movie.
when he was a child. Yeah, like I get that, and the fact of the matter is that this is a guy who's been around for thousands of years. That if he wants to do something, he would, and he gave it up. Yet his son couldn't even go out and save that. I understand the hostility between that. That makes sense. But everything else of his motivation, like how many secret societies are there going to be in the MCU? You've got this one, you've got Hydra, you've got the Black Widow one, like what's that? You got Kang, you know.
Well, Kang
Kang
isn't
make
really
him
a
do all
secret
this?
society. He's outside of the universe or whatever.
Yeah, but
Well,
I
of
mean,
course,
I'm saying something that's
technically
behind
so
the
is
scenes,
this one, but-
something behind the scenes that's controlling everything else. You
Right.
got the Eternals. I mean, they were the ones who created the entire universe.
Or so I haven't seen
Like,
Eternals yet, so I don't know anything about them.
yeah,
But but that's kind of, keep in mind that that's kind of where Phase 4 is going with all this. Is
it's going nowhere. It's
I disagree.
expanding
I think you're thinking it's going nowhere, but a lot of people thought that the previous phases were going nowhere until it started to coalesce. I'm seeing Phase 4 as basically this layering of the multiverse, that we're seeing differing, like there are differing dimensions and differing things that are going on that are building up this whole overarching thing. We have the obviously what we saw in WandaVision. We have the stuff that we saw in the Loki series that have started to build up some of this stuff. In Shang-Chi, we now have this alternate universe where the dragons are and all that stuff. We have the Eternals, which are clearly a part of the creation of this universe. In the Spider-Man movie, we're going to be seeing more about the multiple versions of this universe and Doc Ock's triumphant return. Really looking forward to that. We're going to be seeing Multiverse of Madness coming up. We're seeing like these branches of the universe and some kind of hyper cosmic crisis coming up. Now, what is the ultimate thing that's building up to? Don't know. Are they
reboot, a reset, because that's where multiverse always goes. They've done it. They've done this exact same thing in the comics constantly,
right?
And the
well,
problem
and that's
is it's never worked out good. But the
well,
MCU
that's why
had things
I'll
because
tell
they
you,
were
Mr. Grant,
grounded.
that's why I stopped reading comics in the late '80s. Because
and that's why I stopped reading them in the late '90s, and then in the late 2000s. Yeah, it's a recyclable story trope.
Right. I think that like, as far as I do think that multiversal stories do tend to run into dead end problems, and they're going to do their best.
So quick though.
Hmm?
They got there so quick. That's the problem,
Well, I don't know if I would say 10 years of films is quick. It felt quick because
it is
it's
from
been
the start of a
brisk.
universe to where it is. Absolutely, because everything was based in. We started to bring in magic. We touched on alternate magical dimensions, not alternate realities, but ultimate dimensions. We just touched on that with the Doctor Strange and everything, and then all of a sudden we've now cracked time travel, and we're hitting the multiverse within 2 or 3 films.
You see, I can see both sides because, yes, it just seems like with Endgame, they just brought in time travel and then the TVA and how the stones were useless, and then Shang-Chi came in, and now Eternals with the creation stuff, but it's spanned almost 30 projects.
Right.
Yeah, I see both sides on this one.
Yeah, so I'm saying it expands 30 projects, but in the last 3 we've gone from time travel to multiverse within 3, where it took 25 to be able to get to something in outer, or was it 18 till we get to something where there's in outer space. There was a ramp that made logical sense, and then all of a sudden,
well, that's a problem that comic books have dealt with forever, though, and is that and this is where I was a little concerned as soon as I realized they were bringing Thanos in. I thought that the Infinity Gauntlet, while I love the Infinity Gauntlet story from the comics, I was like, really? They're going to go that high? They're gonna set the bar, okay. Because I was like, are they going to start bringing in the Eternity and Galactus and all that? And they didn't. They just left all of them out. And so, but now we're starting to see some of the celestial type beings making appearances in movies like the Eternals and stuff. But they made cameos in Guardians of the Galaxy and that kind of thing. But the
Well, I mean, what's next? The one above all is like we're going to do this, and then what's Phase 5 going against the one above all? Like, I mean, you can't
you see,
get
I
above
don't think that that'll sell in a movie format. I don't think that because I just don't think that a movie audience is interested in watching superheroes taking on God. You know,
But I mean,
unless they want to
the
watch Star Trek 5, you know.
But why does God need a spaceship?
Right.
Yeah. You don't ask your money for IG.
You know,
No, but I said like that was the problem I had. Like I said, going back to Shang-Chi, that's what I had. There was so many makings, but they had to make it this big, crazy thing. Like, tell us a nice story that's based in reality. Spider-Man is supposed to be about this little fella in a small area doing what he does best. But we MCU, we've never had a Spider-Man film in the MCU. He's this big global galactic sort of thing. It doesn't make sense. And then now with this whole thing, they're going for freaking bloody One More Day. That's the storyline that they choose to pick from. Like, there's so many good things in it, and you know, I'm obviously upset about it because I'm passionate about it because I love the property. You know, and
we see that's where I think what I wanted to see, and I don't know because I'm still hopeful for the MCU. I'm not quite ready to write off the whole thing right now, but I'd like to see them build up towards Secret Wars. Right. That's
I mean, that would have made sense to bring in before that, bring in the scrolls and bring all that in before you go to Thanos. That would have worked.
No, not Secret Invasion, Secret Wars.
Oh, sorry, Secret. Oh, you mean like Battle World and all that?
Not the original Secret Wars from 1986. I'm not talking about any.
86. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm not talking about any of the crap that came out in the 90s or any of that. I've never even read any of those. All right.
Well, so I mean, they'll have to introduce Captain Britain and all that first because
I don't care.
Not necessarily, not necessarily because they didn't introduce Adam Warlock when it come to Infinity. So
right now, Marvel is basically on a tightrope because they worry about what's hitting, what's not hitting. I did go see the Eternals and look at the crowd, and while I was in there, it was like 8 people in there, and it I can't say it was a hit, but people just didn't know about it. I think if they really knew more about them, I think it could have been a hit.
Well, it has a 75% drop from a week ago.
Yeah.
So that's I mean that's it's the worst drop an MCU film has ever had.
Yeah.
That's 75%.
Yeah, and I think another big mistake Marvel is doing. They should have, like we all be saying, they should have pick character we all knew, and try something new, while picking or just not picking something we don't know about. I mean, there is so many, Marvel characters they can pick, like like Samarinor and stuff like that. I don't know if they'll come out with that movie.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I don't think right
where
now.
Where the fuck's Namor?
Yeah, Namor. Yeah.
Here's the problem that Marvel's dealing with, and this is something that is one of those unquantifiable things that there's just there's really nothing that could have been done about it. Is that right now we're seeing movies that were planned out, 5 years ago, and so these movies were planned pre-COVID.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and so had COVID not happened, I think we'd be having a very different conversation than we're having right now, because I think that movies like Shang-Chi and the Eternals would be doing far better, and even Black Widow would be doing far better had COVID not happened. Because
wait, I disagree with that. Because
really, because you know what, people were a lot more willing to simply go on the Marvel brand to movies like Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff, not knowing anything about a talking raccoon in a tree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That being said, that's back when they were at their prime. We're talking about now. We've had some bad films in between, and these last 3 or 4 films that we've had, okay. in all fairness, these last 3 or 4 films that we've had are probably the 3 or 4 worst films in the entire MCU,
Wait.
or
You
at least
say
in the
bad
last.
movies, like you're talking about. I mean, because you have to qualify that statement, because
Okay,
when you
well,
say a
I'll
bad
qualify
movie,
what I'm saying. The
are you
last three
talking
or
about
four movies.
Ghostbusters 2016 bad, or are you saying, okay, not as good as Infinity War bad? I mean, there's a difference between when you say bad versus
No, I'm
not
saying
prime.
bad in the quality of. I'm saying bad. I'm not comparing them to the other ones based on how good they were. I'm saying from if you were to break each of these films down when it comes to story. And here's the one thing I will say: every film that's come out in the last 2 years from looks the best that it's ever looked. But
Mhm.
a film is more than just the visuals. As technology progresses and everything, we go even Eternals, when it's at its dullest and its drabbest, like
Mhm.
it looked fine.
Right, but how
Chloe
much of
Zhao
these
she's a
films?
great cinematographer, but that's
But how
not
much of
a
these
I
film.
think
films
the biggest
were
problem with
hampered as far as post production? Because this is another major problem with filmmaking right now. How much of the post production of Black Widow, Shang-Chi, and the Eternals was hampered by COVID, as far as doing things like reshoots and stuff like that, which is normal production. Because normally what you do is you put together your film. You're like, okay, things like what we're talking about right now. Hey, why is it this
But when
doesn't make
stuff like
sense?
Suicide Squad and Free Guy and all these other ones who dealt with the same thing were able
Yeah,
to
and
outshine
Suicide
the
Squad was a
MCU
freaking
on
mess. Okay, so
on no,
Suicide
I'm
Squad
saying
was
the newer
Suicide.
one. I'm saying that we're able to outperform these in these same markets
I'm
that
not
dealt
talking
with
about box
the same
office. I'm not.
issues.
I'm not. I'm just talking about the film itself. I think that I would dare say, as far as looking at the movies that I've seen this year, um, I would say that Shang-Chi was a better film than the Suicide Squad. I would say that, and they were both produced in this current COVID environment. All right. I don't, and the Suicide Squad, I'm not talking about visual effects. I'm talking about the big problem that we're running into right now is what I see as a problem in filmmaking and stuff right now is the lack of effective reshoots, because what we're doing right now is one pass shooting, and like we were talking about one pass writing earlier, where we're like, okay, well, you know what, it's such a hassle to go back and do the rewrite and the reshoot, so we're just going to let it go. And so we're going to let those little, like you were talking about, why isn't there an explanation to why they couldn't go over the forest? Well, we could have put something in, but it's not worth the hassle. So we're just going to roll with it. And the simple fact of the matter is, if we were in a pre-COVID world, somebody probably would have said, you know what, we need an explanation for that.
I mean that's. I mean, you can say that, but it doesn't make any. That doesn't neither confirm nor deny it. I'm just saying we've got to
I'm
deal
just
with
saying
what
that
we've
based
got.
on
What we've
Marvel's
got.
track record, I would say that it seems logical that Marvel would not have left something like that. But right now with
I mean,
COVID,
I think they're banking on good faith, and I think that's the thing. Like, I'm
so you
happy to
think
do it.
Marvel's just lazy right now, that they don't give a crap, and that COVID has nothing to do with it?
I didn't say that I think they're being lazy. I'm saying I think they're banking on their good faith because purely and simply you've got a
Well, that would be being
15,
lazy.
15, 6. There's a
Well, I
difference
Banking
can
on
say
between
good
that's
faith.
true. I think
Banking on
they are
good
being
faith is
lazy.
being, yeah.
I think they are being
there's a
lazy
difference between
because
being lazy and banking on it. There's a difference between having lower effort and doing things because Kevin Feige says
Putting out lower
doesn't.
effort is being lazy by definition. They're the same thing.
Well,
they are being lazy.
there's lazy to a different point because I put lazy as in practically no effort, and that's what I'm quantifying when I'm saying lazy. So I don't believe that they're being that because there is a lot of people that are doing a lot of hard work within that. I'm talking
I'm
about
not
the
talking about
others.
the individual art. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about the individual artist that's actually, putting out their sweat and tears 12 hours a day trying to make the Chinese demon lion thing look as cool as they can make it look for the big battle scene at the end of Shang-Chi. I'm not talking about the individual artists. I'm talking about the fact that they could sit there and say, you know what, we need to rewrite and reshoot this scene to make more sense, or we can just let it go with what we got right now.
Okay,
Now,
I
Then
have a
yeah,
question. I have a question. Quick question.
then
Okay.
yes. Then if that's what you define as lazy, then I agree. That's them being lazy because they're
right.
banking on their
But
good
I'm
faith over
saying
this amount of time. Because
I
the
don't
fact of
think
the
it's them
matter
just
is,
banking on good faith. I think it's them basically saying, you know what, in a COVID world, we're not going to put out the effort.
Okay,
Now,
let me have a question. I have a question for you guys. Okay,
what?
we all say I agree with that, but who's picking what hero we gonna make in the movies? Who's
Kevin
he's
Feige is the man in
exactly.
charge.
Yeah, I'm saying. So whoever's saying that, okay, if Kevin's doing this, I say, okay, we gonna make okay, whoever the next superhero come out is, like Miss Marvel or whoever it is, blah blah blah, and we're gonna make that a movie. And the question that and nobody's scratching their head, okay, will the fans see this or they like this, or no, we don't flip a coin just like this because that's the problem they're having right now. If I think if the last movie, couple movies, and could have streams, they could have brought people over and so we have boosted which character like they're doing Spider Man. They brought Iron Man in. They brought whoever character is. They could have done the same thing with Eternals. They could have brought some superhero in there and have boost the movie up. Just making one movie and no one heard him. It's crazy. I mean, and like Shang-Chi, they brought the one guy in from Doctor Strange.
Well,
Okay,
keep in
why?
mind also, Chief, though, that we're way behind the schedule too,
Yeah, I agree with
because
that. I'm saying that.
right,
Uh,
and because again, these aren't decisions that were these aren't like they didn't decide to make Shang-Chi last year,
no,
right?
I agree with that.
This movie's been in production for several years, and so
no, but
this
but it was shot before the whole COVID thing happened. That was the whole point with Shang-Chi. It was already shot before anything was shut down.
right,
Yeah.
but the
So
reshoots, which is a normal part of production, never happened. Not at the level
they
they
did
should
though.
have.
They had plenty of reshoots in Shang-Chi.
Not well, obviously not that they should have. Not according to you. If you think that the story is this weak, if you think I don't think it's as bad as you do, but if you think that it's that bad, I don't think it's a bad movie at all. I
I mean,
just
there's
so you
plenty of
know.
films that I think that are bad, but COVID has nothing to do with those either. I'm failing to understand the correlation between something that was shot before COVID happened and COVID
Because I'm
affecting it.
saying that Marvel, unfortunately, right now, is that Marvel has like there. If you look at what they were planning on doing versus what's actually happening, and them trying to do what they can with what they've got, and COVID is kind of and it's not just Marvel. Obviously, COVID has
I was
screwed
gonna
up
say
all the major studios.
that's a movie.
Um,
That's every movie studio
Right.
though.
The movie industry has just been in a massive upheaval these last couple of years. But the problem is that they've been if you look at what they were planning on doing, it was fairly typical Marvel stuff. They were going to have Black Widow, a familiar character, she was going to come out last year, and then they were going to have Eternals and Shang-Chi, and then they were going to have Doctor Strange and Spider-Man, and they were going to alternate these well-known established characters and new characters like they've been doing for the last couple of phases, and that's how they keep the interest going. You alternate between well-established, well-known characters and new blood that you bring in. And unfortunately, because of this huge mess that we've had, they've had to bump up some stuff, like WandaVision ended up getting bumped up. So did Loki and stuff like that, just so that they could get stuff out there for people to see. And then they were trying desperately to get the movies done so that they could get them into some kind of hybrid release. But then, of course, people like Scarlett Johansson got all pissy about hybrid releases, and now they got to deal with lawsuits over that crap. And then people like the Phantom Menace are all celebrating the fact that Disney's struggling with that, and so everybody's got to ring in the doom bells. And
Well, I mean,
boy, everybody's got
there is a difference between. I've heard you say the Phantom Menace. I'm not. I get what you're saying with that, but there is a difference between this last phase of movies and TV series. the quality that we got before isn't here now. And if
Right.
they release that during COVID, that's on them. It's not on us because we don't like that sort of stuff. I'm not just going to sit there and go, well, this is great because it's Marvel. I'm one of the biggest comic book and
I'm not saying you
shills when it comes
should.
to anything.
I'm just saying that
No, but I'm saying that's my issue. But you keep bringing up like you're saying the fandom menace and everything like that, and because
I'm
I'm the one
saying,
objecting.
my problem with the Phantom Menace is that they act like it's the greatest thing in the world that there's any kind of problems. That's where I get mad at the Phantom Menace is that like whenever they like look, if you'll start searching the Phantom Menace channels right now and you'll
Yeah,
see
I mean,
disaster at Disney like it's the greatest thing ever.
Well, I
no
get.
one's
Can I say something real quick? No,
no one's
I
bringing that up.
watched.
I don't get why that's being brought up. That sorry, so I just don't understand with what we're talking about right now. Why that's even relevant.
Well, because that's where where what I'm talking about is the lower quality that you're complaining about right now. I think that's one of the reasons you're seeing delays across the board. You're seeing like people are talking about how horrible movie writing is these days. Movie and TV right now is at a lull across the board. I have, and honestly, Shang-Chi was a high point for me this year.
Yeah,
And
I was about to say that because I saw it yesterday, and I was looking for the extras behind the scenes of like you didn't see that. You didn't see a lot of extras, even not on YouTube or even on Disney Plus. So I agree with that. No, it just it didn't make no sense. I think they look crowded and everything, but they should get more backstory of Shang-Chi like that. Like we all see the other movies, but we didn't see that here. And same thing with Black Widow. The last, I agree with with the reshoot. We didn't see it real quick because they were showing a lot of behind the scenes how they make this, how they do this. You didn't see a lot of that, and so he's right by that. You're right by that. So,
I'm just saying that I think that right now, to see a lull in the quality of films, at least to a certain extent, is to be expected because the studios can't operate at 100% capacity. And I wish they could, but
Have you been able to see Dune as of yet?
yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, I loved everything about the film except for the soundtrack. I think the sound was terrible. I wish it actually had a score. But
And
no,
by the way, I don't care what the director says. I think that they should be doing hybrid releases as much as possible right now. And I'm sorry to, Scarlett Johansson and all the rest, the actors that don't like that they don't get their as much residuals on hybrid releases. They need to do it right now to keep the audience engaged.
I mean,
But
I agree. I agree with if they're going to do hybrid releases, it needs to be part of the thing. But her initial contract didn't say anything about that.
right, but you know what? Her
Well,
initial contract didn't say there was going to be a COVID pandemic.
No, I know, but I'm saying, well, I mean, Disney still made enough money to be able to do it. But the 4,000, it was 4,000. I think how it was worded was a wide release is considered 4,000 cinemas that are running it for at least a period of 4 weeks, and it didn't meet that. So technically, they did meet what it was, but that was the minimum.
Yeah.
So I mean, I get her grievances and everything. She waited X amount of years for it. But I mean,
I get the grievance, but at the same time,
I get the grievance,
first of all,
but
they need to act like adults instead of and I get it. That's how Hollywood operates.
We're on the same page with that. Yeah. No, I get it. It's the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, it was corporations putting a little bit more money in their pocket over someone, and I don't want to feel sorry for a multi-millionaire who who couldn't give a shit whether I have a meal tomorrow or not. Yeah. But what I care about is the stories. That's the point. Like, good stories are the things like we're here. Like, obviously your name, Salty, Trekker. Like, you have an affinity to a certain sci-fi sort of series and movie and everything. And I already know your opinion on a certain film. I'm very much like that, and I don't. I can't look at the modern state of MCU the same way that I used to look at the modern state when it was there. And this was going on before the COVID stuff was happening as well.
See, I don't see that.
It's been a decline.
Where do you
think the
see the
best
decline is beginning then? Since you say
that's the that's the hard thing, because I look at something that I didn't particularly like, say something like the second Avengers. I didn't think that was particularly good, but everything that came before
Age
that,
of Ultron.
yeah, I didn't particularly like that, and I thought that was bad. But I would take what that happened. I would take that over some of the stuff that we're getting now. I mean, I think what they did with the Guardians of the Galaxy was great. It was a lightning in the bottle, and I liked the idea of doing the Eternals because it was a new property that you didn't have anyone else in there. That's what the MCU was needed. I don't like the idea of every MCU film has to constantly connect them on the sequels if they're good enough to get there. If they're not, then that's fine. I think when we were told as a collective that Captain Marvel was this when, and it was doing all this when it wasn't, because Captain Marvel was not a good film thematically. It wasn't a good film, story wise. It wasn't a good film with the action. And it was the first time that I went into an MCU film. I've seen all of them up to that on the first day that they came out. I was there every single day, and I went, that wasn't good. And then I went, okay, maybe I'm wrong because everyone's saying it's great. I went back and watched it again, and I still didn't like it. And then,
well, here's the funny thing about Captain Marvel, and as me and Life with Matthew watched it a couple of months ago now on our Friday night thing, because he hadn't seen it, and I gave it, when I first saw it, I gave it a 6 out of 10 as a score, as a rating. Now, keep in mind that when I rate a movie, 5 out of 10 means if I have a choice between watching paint dry or watching the movie, it's a coin toss, right? So 5 out of 10 means, basically I'm ambivalent. If it's 4 out of 10, it means I would rather watch paint dry. If it's 6 out of 10, it means, well, the movie's better than watching paint dry. And so I gave it a 6 out of 10. So it's moderately entertaining. And so with that, now I got lambasted by certain groups, but I think the big problem with the movie wasn't the story. It wasn't even the script. It was the director's choice to make Carol Danvers so dang stoic, because she comes across, and again, it's not even Brie Larson, because Brie Larson can act. If you've seen her in other movies, she can show emotion. She's not a plank of wood. She can definitely show emotion, but she's just absolutely flat in this movie, and that's a purposeful directorial choice. And through the entire movie, she shows no emotion whatsoever, but the entire theme of the movie is that she's overly emotional,
yeah,
and that she has no control over her emotions. Well, if the point of her character is that she lacks emotional control, then you've got to have her be an emotional character. And so that was where it was really holding the movie back. You needed to have her, like at the beginning of that movie, when she was fighting with Jude Law's character, she should have been hysterical. And like when she was first on Earth and talking to Samuel L. Jackson, she should have been constantly just completely wound up and losing control all the time, instead of just this, this brick wall. And
but you can't show a woman being hysterical in a film like that when they're the hero. It doesn't work.
I understand.
It would have got lambasted for it. And
I understand the thought process behind that, but they're wrong, and you know it.
No. I agree they're wrong, but I'm saying
right.
that's the reason why, and it's dumb, because what it does is your version of the story already make sense because it fixed the biggest flaw. That being said, there was the one part of the film that I actually enjoyed. It was that last battle when he's like, "You can't do anything," and she just fucking blasts him. Like, if you got the power, use it. I'm sick and tired of heroes being muted when they're facing their enemies. I like that bit where she
That
where
was
she
that
smashed him
was
at
a
the
that
end.
was a great laugh out loud moment because
Yeah, it
that
was,
yeah.
and it was the only redeeming quality. Everything else about the film was just, it was like it
Right,
was
because
pandering to an
if they
audience
had
that doesn't
just
exist, and I
given her
don't
the
get that.
if they just given her the emotion they kept telling us she had, it would have felt a lot better. The funny thing is that all the supporting cast I liked. I like Samuel L. Jackson, seeing young Nick Fury. The Skrulls, I thought, as an old school comic book fan, I was all set for the Skrulls to be the bad guys. And when they kind of turned that on its head, I liked it. I know that some people were pissed about it. I kind of liked it because I also got, being a person, as I told you, I have every Fantastic Four from 25 onward. I know the Skrulls are not just one group of people,
Yeah,
you know. And
But
so
I mean,
I was
when the
totally
director
on
comes out
board
and
with.
says it's a direct reaction, they wrote the Skrulls as space refugees based on the whole administration of Trump and everything. I'm like,
I don't
don't
give
bring any politics into it. It's so dumb because as soon as you do it, it doesn't make any sense. It ruins the story
Right.
because here's the
I
thing.
wasn't
Even
thinking
if
about
I didn't
Trump.
know that, I might have liked it more. But
Well,
now that I
also,
know that you, yeah,
I hate to bring no DC part into, but a lot of people just did not like the name that she had the title Captain Marvel, even though Shazam came out a week before the movie came out and made better than that. So a lot of people also didn't like the idea. I mean, I know
uh, uh, but I mean that's something that goes back to 1946. I mean that's
yeah, no,
definitely something in the past. But
it's
yeah,
still,
yeah,
I know, yeah, still, but
yeah.
still, no, they no, they still should have no. I know the story about the Captain Marvel and Shazam title like that, but still, a lot of people just didn't like the idea that they had the name Captain Marvel on that screen, and Shazam just came out 2 weeks later.
Well, if anybody actually knows that Shazam was because first of all, they never used the name Captain Marvel in the Shazam film at all.
I know,
No.
cause the title
And
right, cause the copyright
no.
thing,
I'm
yeah.
just saying, Chief. They never call him Captain Marvel. They never say the word Marvel. It's not in that movie at all. So anybody that actually knows about that, then they should already know the reason. And so if anybody's upset about it, then they need to shut up because they know better. But I mean, that's just my honest opinion about it. Because if you know about Shazam being Captain Marvel, then you already know why he's not Captain Marvel.
Yeah, true, but still, still people think that he should have that title. They still,
Well, they can
I know
think
they
that
changed
all
the
day
name.
long.
I mean,
They changed the
I'm a
title.
hardcore Captain, like, Shazam Captain Marvel fan, but it's so far gone within its history. We can call him Shazam. When I think of Marvel now, I think of Marvel.
You know what I'm saying? Because one
Yeah.
thing about it is, in the comic book we read, every time he says the name Shazam, he's Shazam. He turned. He just can't say it. No,
Yeah.
hey, my name is Shazam. You just can't say it. So how do you sit here and
Besides,
say, man? Yeah,
honestly, it set up the funniest line from that movie. Say my name,
yeah, I know.
Billy. That was
Yeah,
so
I know that
great.
was great. That was great. Everybody was laughing. I saw that, and everybody cracked up. That everybody was saying, "I swear to God, when I was in that movie theater, everybody said Captain Marvel, and they said Billy." Everybody just died laughing. That was a great line, punchline right there. I swear to God, that was the funniest line right there. I mean,
But
everybody say Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel. Everybody was hoping he would say it, Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel. Somebody in the back of me. Everybody, and also he said Billy, and everybody it broke the house down. It was just funny. So that was I give him credit for that.
yeah,
But still, no, he deserved that title. Even though, I mean, years.
it
Uh,
doesn't
uh,
matter. He doesn't
I
deserve
know,
anything. He's a fictional character.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
But
As I said, he's one of my favorite characters. But yeah,
and besides, if
to
you
me,
really
it's
want to just
Shazam.
go
So
old school, call him the Big Red
yeah,
Cheese.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree with that. But still, if you can't call him Captain Marvel, and you got Captain Marvel Junior, then you got Mary Marvel, and wherever the other two got Marvel. So
I mean, she's still
you
called
got to
Mary
scratch his
Marvel,
head.
so that's still there. So it's not
Yeah, I
like
know.
it's the whole thing has been
Actually, they're the
stolen away from
Shazam
them.
family now.
Yeah, they're called the Shazam family. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that. I understand that. But no,
which was also
but
weird to
like
bring into the first movie. By the way, I thought that's a bit early, but yeah, I liked it.
what
But
I'm saying is in the movie, okay, they had Captain Marvel Jr. So how you can you scratch your head? So okay, why you still calling him Captain Marvel Jr. but you
Well,
can't?
no, now it's not.
I,
Now it's Shazam
It's not.
Junior,
oh,
and
Shazam Jr. Okay, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Okay, that part. But I'm saying because in the movie, he said Captain Marvel Jr. and everybody like look around like
I'm just
okay,
wondering
Billy.
if in Shazam 2, if they're going to say, like, it's, at some point, is some interviewer going to say, so what's your name? And you go, well, we can't really say it.
Yeah, I wish that said it. I wish that would have been great. That would been funny as hell. Boy, or I say, well, I
My
can't.
friends
I can
call
say
me
Captain, and yeah, just say Captain,
Shazam.
and yeah. I mean, like say Captain. Then you go
Or
around and
they
say
just go
Mother.
by
Something
Captain
happened.
Sparkle Fingers or whatever you say.
Yeah, or something. Yeah,
Thunder Crack. Remember, I like that one.
yeah. Okay. Well, I know in the movies they actually call Captain Thunder. And I thought, it could have been funny right there, but
Okay, the guy that called him Captain Thunder was actually one of the guys who actually wrote for Johnny Thunder in the Justice Society. So I think that was a
okay.
little bit of an Easter egg within the movie when they said that. So yeah, he was one of the writers of the JSA in the New 52. So
So yeah. So my problem was, if if every time he said, "Hey, my name is Shazam," does he, turn back like that? Because that's just absurd. It was. So that's what I'm trying to say. I think I just I wish they could have said this one time. Hey, my name is this. Then I'm gonna change it to something else because it's way cooler. Shazam is way cooler than Captain Marvel. 'Cause, something like that. But no, but it
But,
just
I mean,
you know
there's a big storyline about the power of a name. It's the same thing with him and Black Adam. It's it's essentially it's like a chess game between who's willing to say the name first. And I mean, and the fact of the matter is that was where he learned to use the fact that he can use his name as a battle strategy. I mean, they used it in the Amalgam crossover. He would say his name to get out of an attack because when Thor was holding him like this, he yelled
yeah.
Shazam. He turned back to Bill, and then when he said it again, Thor intercepted it with the hammer
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I
because
remember
he
that.
got to, yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
like it's yeah, like I mean it's yeah.
Yeah. But would you do agree that I
There's
think
power in
would
a
you
name. So
yeah, but would you do agree that I think they made a big mistake not putting Captain Marvel? I mean Black Adam in the first movie.
oh god
Said
no,
Doc-
you don't know.
uh,
Establish your characters first. Have a B grade villain as your first one. It's always the better way of doing it. Don't put your big villain first.
Yeah, unless the villain is directly linked to your hero,
Yeah,
then you should not bring in your arch nemesis in the first film because
yeah.
that and Marvel has done this pretty well, and something that a lot of people don't understand. Like, part of the reason that people say, "Oh, Marvel doesn't do good villains," no, it's because the point of the Marvel movies isn't the villains. The point of the Marvel movies is the heroes, and so they're not about showcasing villains. They're about showcasing heroes, and that's why, like, the entirety of the first 10 years was about building up one villain, Thanos.
so
And
if Black
I mean,
Adam, so it's
they do
so
also write them pretty. They also do write them pretty average. I mean, that's the thing.
right, but
They
like,
don't
if you look
they
at
don't
like
showcase them
Ironmonger,
yet.
like Ironmonger was simply there so Iron Man had someone to fight at the end of the movie, right? That
No,
was
but
the only
okay.
reason. Yeah.
Ironmonger was probably one of the best villains in Phase One.
Right, but I'm not saying he was a horrible villain, but I'm just saying, like, Ironmonger wasn't the focus of Iron Man. Tony Stark
No, but I'm
was.
saying because it was the
Um,
first film, they had to draw
right,
them in with a good
right.
antagonist and a good
Abomination
protagonist.
was just
Yeah,
there so Hulk had someone to punch in Hulk, right? The
yeah.
Red Skull was there so that Captain America had someone to fight. Now Loki, the exception, because Loki is absolutely linked to Thor. His brother. You can't do Thor without Loki. It's kind of like with the Fantastic,
And you can't do the Avengers without them. Yeah,
right? Just like you can't do Fantastic Four without Doom, right?
yeah.
so
Doom and Reed Richards are forever linked together.
so
And
so my question. Okay, so my question is, okay, all due respect to The Rock, I think some of these movies is tanking. Like Red Notice, yesterday I just saw it. Uh, uh, if this not gonna be a hit, I just can't see him, carrying the movie. This is gonna be out past Shazam in the movie theaters. Where it come out? What, next year? I think it is next year. You think if Shazam being that movie may help that movie if it come out next
I don't think Black Adam is going to struggle. I
No,
really,
yeah,
I think that
yeah,
the
I agree.
DC, yeah, first of all, number one, it's going to be released on HBO Max, and it's going to be one of those Snyderverse break HBO Max moments, because people have been waiting for The Rock as Black Adam for 10 freaking years.
Yeah,
Because he was the one that pushed it in the height
Yeah.
of his whole thing. He was the one
yeah,
that said,
yeah.
"This is the character that I want to do. I am going to be the head of Canada. This is my moment. This is my moment."
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
we
Uh
lost him.
oh. Yeah, we lost. Yeah, what I was gonna say. What I would say was, if Shazam, I mean Black Adam comes
Did
out
you
next
kick him,
year,
Captain Shrek?
No, I didn't.
I was just
No,
about
I
to say,
didn't.
well, you gotta have it. You gotta have it doing it
He
now.
was
I
just
should
getting
know.
all fiery about it, and then
I
he
I
kicked.
have only kicked one person for my stream intentionally.
Yeah. Who's
One,
that?
NB Geek.
Oh. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, I hope his internet didn't die.
What's up, Bird? He's quiet. He's asleep.
Well, and to kind of,
I'm sleeping.
we figured
Yeah.
you were sleeping. But to kind of what he was talking about, keep in mind that the Rock, if anybody was ever born to play a specific part, the Rock playing Black Adam is it.
I agree. I agree with it, but like I said, I just seen the last two movies is not
Oh,
anything
come on,
cross.
a stupid buddy comedy with Ryan Reynolds. Come on, and
Yeah.
during COVID,
Okay. Yeah.
because
Sure.
all
Okay.
movie
I
box
get credit.
offices are down.
Yeah.
I'm not expect. If I and honestly, that's why I get kind of frustrated with people. Oh, this movie's tanking. That movie's tanking. Oh, Eternals is
Where they
doing
gonna put it?
horribly.
Well.
Eternals made 189 million dollars. You tried doing that during a pandemic.
Yeah. Well. You think that should have came out next year, Ian? We think more people, be less COVID.
No, because here's the problem: is that, and this is where I think that everything that Marvel's putting out right now is basically a sacrificial lamb. I think they're putting out stuff just to keep
People interested.
movies.
Yeah.
They
People
just got to
interested.
keep
Yeah.
releasing stuff. If they
Yeah.
and otherwise, it's going to fall into the same problem like Avatar is going to ultimately run into, because Avatar 2 is still in production, and it's like, come on, it's been a decade. Is anybody going to really
Yeah.
care about Avatar 2 by the time it
Oh
comes out?
no, they probably don't remember it. Yeah. Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
remember that. 'Cause I was. Yeah. And I give them credit. No, and especially the Disney Stream channels. No, the She-Hulk and Miss Marvel and whoever.
Right.
I think Moon Knight is coming down the stream. I give them credit because I think they worry about if they put that on a big screen, not make their money, so they don't put it on small. I give them credit for it. They put some people still interested. Interested next year, but no, there's gonna be some hits tomorrow. He's right about that. It's gonna be some hits tomorrow because a lot of people just don't know about these characters.
Right.
They just don't know. And I think sometimes you do need at least one character to have to carry and let them fly by himself. But just put them out out in awareness with nobody in there is crazy. I think that's a big problem with internals. Somebody should came in there. Somebody, Fury, like Fury, came in there and say, "Who are you?" and stuff like this and blah blah blah. I think he probably, will bring the ratings back up. But just by himself, nobody. Yeah, I saw the movie, and it was like eight
I'll
people in
see
there.
the Eternals when it comes out on Disney Plus. Honestly, I'm not running to the theaters. Just like I wanted to see Shang-Chi in the theaters, but I consider myself too high risk to, I'm not going. And I talk, me and the wife, we're gonna take the chance and go to the theaters to see Spider-Man, but that's it.
That's it.
We're not going to even go see Ghostbusters. And as much as I want to see Ghostbusters, we're going to wait. And so the only movie we're planning on seeing this year is Spider-Man. And
Wait a minute, so that's the title to the next Avatar, The Last Rainforest.
no,
Wow.
he's
Okay. Okay.
Vile Mike, I know if you're still there, please drop the link to your stream. I know people will be interested in going over there.
was Fire Mike doing a Jeopardy stream today?
I think he's doing a CNA stream today.
Oh, okay. But yeah, man, now I want to know what happened.
Well, I do know. Speaking about Eternals, like I did go to the movie and see it, and it did say Eternals 2 is coming out. So I think about what 2 years from now. So it
Yeah. And
yeah
when Eternals comes out, I'll talk about it. I'm not gonna, I'm not interested in hearing people say, "Oh, it sucks," or it's, oh, he is doing Jeopardy today. But yeah, I mean, because the problem is that, and I get it. I know, because people have their opinions, but a lot of people either at this point either say everything from the MCU sucks or everything from the MCU is gold. Yeah, that's
yeah.
unfortunately
Well, I
that's
saw it. I did saw it. Like I did saw it when it came out,
Mhm.
and when I went inside moved there, and I saw like maybe 8 people, and maybe 8 to 12 people, and I looked at it, and it does remind you of guys who blah blah Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew what it was, and I think it'd be like a run right hit.
Yeah,
The
but
guy.
just keep in mind though, Chief, is that
Mm.
you first of all, what you saw at your theater doesn't necessarily mean what's going on at every theater,
Yeah. I know. I'm saying.
and besides that, um, one showing one or look at movies like Guardians of the Galaxy. Nobody knew who the heck they were.
You know
Nobody
what I'm saying?
knew.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Same
and
thing.
and a lot of
Mm.
people walked out of Guardians of the Galaxy the first time going, "What the heck did I just watch?"
Yeah.
Mm.
And I was hoping the same thing, and plus, you know, Angelina Jolie, just the hottest chick on there. I was like, gosh damn, they had her in a small role. Like I'm like, why in the hell you got to want to find this woman or and like she losing her mind and everything. Like, God
But
damn, I didn't want to bring spoilers.
that's the big problem I see with Eternals right now is that, and I don't know, maybe I'm curious to see what you and Captain Trek and, well, Bird's sleeping, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Is that I think the biggest thing holding back Eternals isn't the relative quality of the film; it's the crap marketing for the film.
Yeah,
Because quite frankly, aside from a laundry list of some of the great actors that's in it, I don't know what this movie's about.
exactly. I mean,
You know,
it was just
aside
it
from,
was
yeah,
quick. It was quick. I mean, it was snap, quick. No, he doing something like that. No, and you find out, no, and
yeah,
what
people say, "Oh,
second
it's
act?
about where the universe came from" or stuff like that, and it's like I
Yeah,
only know that because people told me. I don't know that from the trailer. The
yeah,
trailer just shows me cool special effects and the occasional joke. It doesn't tell me what this movie is about.
exactly.
And that's a big problem. Like with Shang Chi, I knew that it was about a guy who was secretly a martial arts master. That's enough to at least tell me what the core of this movie is about.
Yeah,
You know,
and I was shocked, and I was shocked. The kids talk about Superman. I thought, wow, they actually had the balls to say his name in Marvel. And I was like, okay,
well,
but
you can make, well, keep in mind, Superman is considered part of the cultural zeitgeist. So you can say Superman because Superman is beyond. You can't copyright Superman anymore because Superman is just considered a part of the American culture.
yeah, I know that. Yeah, no, I'm just saying. I kind of was shocked that no Disney. I mean Marvel would say his name. Yet no. Well, I don't think ever we're gonna see a DC ever say anything about like, so, hey, Spider guy, Spider Man this and or Spider guy. So the guy with a hammer.
Well, they do in the comic books from time to time,
Yeah, no, but
and
no,
and DC and Marvel have always had a kind
their
of
rival.
fun teasing relationship at each other,
Yeah,
where they'll knowingly poke fun at each other. And in fact, one of my favorite instances of it was back in the day when the Tim Burton Batman movie came out in 1989.
mm,
And was it 89? Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, in 1989. I have that month in the Fantastic Four, when the I was the thing, the big rock monster guy.
yeah.
He comes home, and Sue, the invisible girl, is like, "Oh, how'd you like the movie, Ben?" He goes, "Oh, some idiot dressed up as a bat trying to fight crime. It was
Oh yeah.
stupid."
So okay.
You know,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
and so that's like how they, and then in another comic book there was like these guys that were going to terrorists are going to blow up the Statue of Liberty, and so Spider-Man goes up to the Statue of Liberty to beat up the terrorists, right? And so he gets the terrorists and he's like grabs the last guy and he pulls him by the scruff of the neck. And he's like, you know, who put you up to this? And the guy's like, who are you? I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and so they do little jokes like that, you know.
Yeah, I did it in one of the Spider-Man movies on Spider-Man. I think it was the last two. Somebody. Yeah, he actually did that.
Yeah.
I can't remember I can't remember which one it was. Far From Home or the other guy. But he actually did it. I'm Batman. I'm Spider-Man.
And Ken Jack Ben, let me correct you a little bit. Yes, DC and Marvel have done crossovers, but no, they do not exist in each other's universes.
That's what. That's why I was saying I was shocked. I was shocked when, like I said, I was shocked when the kids say Superman. So why, they kind of cross them over, like,
yeah,
say
those
it like this.
crossovers are all considered imaginary stories, meaning they are not canonical. And so in either universe, they never really happen. And so, like, I have one that's like X-Men and the Teen Titans. And there's obviously like the Justice League and the Avengers and stuff like that. And usually because they have to unfortunately rebalance everybody's abilities to make it even somewhat fair. Like in one of them that I have, which is so stupid, Batman actually beats the Hulk.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I remember that.
Kicking him
in the groin.
Yeah, and so no, in the gut. He kicks him in the gut and knocks the wind out of the Hulk. It's like, yeah, that's gonna happen. And
yeah. I give him credit for that. And one thing about it, internals, when the kids say, Superman, he didn't read him in the comic book. He said he saw it on TV. He watched. So I was like, that was like a real bold move. So they're saying they are in the same universe, same they're part of the planet. So I gave him, that was like a shocker. Everybody was like, whoa. He actually said it. He didn't say, no. Oh, I read him in the comic book. I thought you were gonna say, he saw him in the comic book, but no, he said he saw him on TV and he read Rick Right Cape, and the guy said, I don't read capes. Like, wow, they really pushed it right there. They were shocked.
And Cinnabon says, like, salty versus pudding. The pudding wins every time. How does that make any sense? I'm not quite sure what that means.
No, I'm not either. I just found it interesting.
Yeah. And Vile, the problem with Superman is they just never use him properly. Because, like, for example, if you put Superman, they never put Superman up against the right opponent.
Right.
Like Superman, if you want to see Superman have the crap beaten out of him, put Superman up against, say, Doctor Doom or Doctor Strange or Professor X. Right?
Or Brainiac. Brainiac. They've been talking about Brainiac for years.
I'm talking about Marvel characters.
Okay.
Because Superman would absolutely be laid out by any of those guys.
No, the big one is Superman and Hulk. That's the big one right there. Not all the respect beyond.
Superman would beat the Hulk. Mainly because Hulk is physically stronger than Superman, but Superman can keep his distance.
Yeah, but still,
just keep frying him with his heat vision and eventually wear him down.
Yeah, but still, that's the one that everyone want to see. I don't know that you seen that YouTube video or some guy made Superman like that. They made a couple shows where he had Lou Ferrigno Hulk and the last two Hulk Hulks, and he had Christopher Reed, play Hulk. That was absolutely great. So, everybody's still waiting for the last scene, because the last scene they was fighting. Superman was carrying the Hulk to space, and Hulk and the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno Hulk, he was about to black out. He was going up in space, and he woke up, and eyes turned green. He slapped fingers, and Hulk just beating the tar out of him while he was falling to Earth. And the last scene, they both dropped on the Earth, and you hear a big boom, and that was it. So everybody been waiting for that. That right there, if they took that idea right there and made that movie, I think that'd be a hit right there.
And Vile,
No.
it also depends on which, and this is another problem, is Superman is written so wildly inconsistently. Sometimes Superman can move planets. Sometimes. Not
Well,
all.
you got to help with Green Lantern because last time, I think the last comic book I saw was Earth got knocked out of orbit,
Yeah. And there are
and all
times that Hulk can smash planets too. So,
mm, yeah, but no, I think like the last comic book I saw was the Earth was knocked out of planet, and the Green Lanterns came and Hal just make it like a big giant chain surround the Earth, and he just pull it, and he jumped on Superman back, and Superman just pulled the whole Earth like that. So
but I think that what I would like to see is Superman versus Thor, but done properly. But unfortunately, we've never seen that done properly because they always just make Superman win because Superman's more popular. But Thor would actually win that fight.
well, Black of the Sun, they did one, and they went toe to toe, and Superman just got no same thing like I said last time. Thor hit him with the hammer, and he went out in space, uh, recharged, came back, and boom, that was it. So they would that could
Well, you see, the problem is people, and there's a couple of issues here. Number one, Superman is not a killer. And so you never take into account their personalities, and you just assume that Superman's going to go into rage mode for some reason, which he wouldn't do. But
well, he did it, when Lois died, but
well,
yeah,
unless Darkseid was possessing him or something, Superman is generally not a murder machine.
yeah.
But even if Superman was in rage mode for some reason, um, going up against someone like Thor, well, Thor's primary attack is magic. And
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah,
yeah, and so the problem is that
he run with the magic.
yeah. So
Yeah,
while Superman is definitely stronger than Thor, and I know Vile's pointing that out, he thinks Thor would lose because Superman's stronger. But one magic lightning and it's over.
and
And
plus, let me
because
remind you that
Superman has
he
no defense against Thor's lightning.
yeah, and plus let me remind you, everyone, he went toe to toe with Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel got the bigger head of him. All problem is, like I said, he still have Mario, a 12-year-old kid. He just outsmarted him. But in a couple of scenes, there was Shazam was kicking his ass.
Right. Superman and but they always, what they do is they, because in these crossovers, Superman is, DC's icon, so they don't ever want him to go down,
Yeah,
and
that's
so they don't want to, um, so they don't want to deal with that.
no, I would love to see that. I would love to see Disney and DC like sit down one time, like let's do one crossover and see what happens.
That'll
It's
never
just,
happen.
I know, I know. I was just saying, no, no, let's get something to the fans.
Unfortunately,
Like
it would be great if Disney and Warner Brothers would get together and actually make a movie of it, but that'll
mm.
never ever happen.
Well, they never said anything about Batman and Superman, so who knows?
No,
I
because
just
Batman and Superman are both Warner Brothers.
yeah,
You
I
can't. You
know.
can get those are both DC properties. You can't get a Disney property and a DC property on the same page. It's not going to
Yeah,
happen.
They did Roger Rabbit. They had
they did.
Mickey
Yeah,
and
as
Bugs,
a comedic spoof,
Doug,
sure,
Okay.
but you're not going
Daffy.
to. But you're not. I'm talking about like getting Chris Hemsworth and what's his
Well,
name that played Superman,
Kevin. Uh,
Henry Cavill,
Kevin. Yeah.
to actually duke it out on screen. That would be freaking awesome, but it ain't ever going to happen.
Well, I think if the fan keep pushing them, they
No,
would. But I don't think.
fans could beg for it forever and a day. It will never ever happen
I don't
because
think
the
we'll be. I
fans
don't think we.
would
I don't,
also hate it if there was not a clear victor, and there would not be a clear victor.
I don't think we Thor. I think it still be. I think it still be the Hulk. But no, if they
And let's not
push.
forget that that's also when we found out that Donald Duck is clearly a straight up racist. which was quite shocking, actually.
He's not racist. He's just honest about it.
Oh wow.
Oh, so you're okay with the okay, Bird? Well, okay.
What did he do?
I'm not
Okay.
going to
Well,
repeat what Donald said.
You're not going to repeat what Donald said?
Yeah.
Sucking.
don't put me in that. Hey, don't let that stop me because I'm sitting here.
Well,
Are
no,
you
it
not
has
gonna
nothing
say
to do with you sitting there. I'm not saying it because I wouldn't say it normally.
You probably
Cause
can't
I
say
heard
what
everything on
Donald
Sunday, so
Duck
I really
said
don't care.
anyway.
Yeah.
What's up?
Neither can I.
Well, and plus, I think Captain
Bird,
Track
do you
made you
actually
all.
not know what he said?
I had no clue neither. What he did say?
You don't know? You really don't know?
Nope.
Wow, you should. In the dueling piano scene, and this is no joke. It's actually it's actually
Oh,
in the movie. In the dueling piano scene, when Daffy's cracking all these jokes and it's annoying Donald. At one point, Donald actually says, and in the old VHS, you can see it in the subtitles. That's the last time I'm working with an N-word.
oh.
The
That
N
was
word is
Um,
in the subtitles.
that was in the subtitles, and then later in the DVD release they changed it to that's the last time I'm working with, and then it said inaudible.
oh.
Inaudible.
Yeah.
oh.
Donald
Wow.
absolutely did say the N-word, and if you listen to it you can hear it. You can
Oh wow.
absolutely hear it if you listen to it.
I'm shocked. Oh wow. As a black person, I'm shocked because I always think Donald Duck. Okay, Donald's the black duck. I think
No,
that was
Donald
right.
is
So,
Donald is white, Daffy is black.
oh, okay. That was Daffy. Okay, Daffy. Okay, that's what I was
So
thinking. I was
he's
thinking it was
talking, so
Daffy.
it's the white duck talking about a black duck,
Oh, okay.
and he says that's the last time I'm working with
Oh yeah. I remember that. Okay, yeah. I think I see. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Now I remember that. Yep.
And
Because I was thinking.
I think that was meant to go under under the radar as a little joke about Walt Disney's you know, opinions on certain things.
Yeah. Because one thing about I'm getting confused. Okay, Daffy Duck is a black duck, right?
Right.
Okay, and Elmer, I remember that scene when Elmer Fudd took the shotgun and shot him in the head, and his beak came out behind his head. It
Mm-hmm.
switched, and I was like, wow, it's, what I'm saying? Every time he shoots something, his head get blown off or something like that. So that was, ugh, but that was back in the day. But now you can't do that now. Ugh. But Fall Mike, Superman movie. But yeah, there's a lot of there's a lot of comic books, there's Superman movies, and actually there's one old cartoon in 1966 cartoon where he just flies up and comes back down with do the handstand,
Mm-hmm.
and his cape was over his head, and he just pushed it like that. But
Oh.
no, but I was wondering how can you move the planet, when you worry about the air and oxygen and stuff like that. Because the comic book they did great when the Art of Lanterns they just surround the planet and put the green oil around it. So that would have been great. I would love to see that. Now they hadn't come back. But I do have one question. Okay, what's next after this? After Disney? Okay, I know you got Moon Knight. I know we got She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. Anything else coming out?
Here
You
you
say
go.
anything?
Hey, Vile, here you go. And
Did anybody see the Obi-Wan trailer?
well, it's not really a trailer. It's just they're
But
sitting there talking about, yep, we're working on Obi-Wan, and
yeah,
Darth Vader is going to be in it.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
saw,
that's all they said.
I saw that yesterday. It was pretty. it's it's finally like you kind of hit you in the head, on the heart, like finally. Christians would be real good. That's what we all heard about, worried about. Would be good. Would be good. And I just got to saw the behind the scenes of Boba Fett. Yeah, so no track news.
Tracks
You're not
without
watching
you
that.
mean.
Yeah, you're not watching that cartoon, right, Aunt Salty, right?
What's that?
You're not watching that cartoon, right? The new one.
I haven't watched the newest episode yet.
Okay. I yeah. You might want to take a long drink before you watch it,
Why? What did they do this time?
huh?
They use the N word in it.
Nah. Uh, well, they well, okay, I'll go ahead and spoil it. Janeway, they got a hologram, right? And she said she's the most decorated starship captain in in history.
Oh, jeez.
And
Okay.
yeah, and they got one scene where they showed all the ships. They showed Voyager, Discovery, Enterprise A, Enterprise D, all the ships in like in 1 century all together. Like okay, and and she looking like these cadet. She already called them cadets. They act like cadets. Oh, yeah, so and the ship. Oh my God! And the ship got 3 engines. Okay, and when it goes to warp. Okay, you know how Voyager wings go down or go up, where the wings go down and another engine comes out where the shuttle door. So it's 3 engines pushing it. So it's it's crazy. And
Well, it
I
does have, we finally found out, on-demand shuttle replication.
oh yeah,
So
yeah, I just
you
saw that.
can just build as many
Yeah,
shuttles as you need.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw that and what else it was it, and the captain's chair is smaller. You got stairs that goes downward to the ship, downward to the what do you call it, the brig.
Yeah, it's not wheelchair
Yeah,
compatible.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And everything is huge. Replicators, you can food in any food, and the big rock thing is a kid. No, yeah,
Yeah, apparently you
I
don't need
can.
to program the replicator. It just knows what you want from your thoughts.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
just have to
okay.
Oh,
think
yes,
what
right.
you want.
Yes,
Even
yeah, that's right.
the replicator would never have had that food,
Yeah,
but if you can
yeah,
think of what it was, it can create it.
yeah. And how does hologram can drink coffee?
Well, how?
Don't keep me waiting.
Wait a minute.
I keep a
They
lady
have
waiting.
a hologram drink coffee.
Janeway
Oh
was drinking
yeah, of
coffee.
course.
Janeway was drinking
Hologram
coffee.
Janeway's got her coffee.
Well,
Yeah,
that's good to know. At least I got something right.
yeah. Well, besides a uniform, still a uniform from the first season, no original season. No, there's no the gray suit thing. But I'm the most decorated captain in the whole Starfleet history. Huh?
In fairness, I think she said one of.
Yeah, one of. Yeah,
One of, yeah.
yeah.
Which she might be one of the most
One of,
decorated.
yeah.
Yeah. If you know, if one was decorated, like, know what? You got your crew lost and come back, or just you brought back a living board. Uh, who knows? Just, yeah.
Huh?
She did come back with
Okay.
technology
Yeah, okay,
20
I can.
years
Yeah,
prior, 30 years superior.
yeah, yeah. But no, it's. I give him credit for kid. And you got the token little purple kid who's actually black, and you get the little girl who's going to be the next captain anyway. They're gonna make her a captain in a couple of episodes. And you got the big rock kid and the slimy thing. Uh, so I've been looking at the ratings today, but you can't see no ratings on these things. Yeah. Yeah. Get my ship back. That's the guy who stole the ship, and he's it's just all over the place.
Let's see here. So, let's see. What did Wild Mike post?
Bob Mike put in a Snopes article that just says that he didn't say the N word, although just says that what he said was not what he said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you play the clip. I put the clip in there. You can play that if you want to determine for yourself.
Crap.
You tell me if that you play the clip for yourself, and you tell me if that sounds like what they're saying the explanation is.
Wow.
They're saying that what they're actually saying is, why you doggone little all why.
Whatever. They lie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's what the official explanation is. But that's not what it sounds like. My clip didn't post. Oh, probably because I'm not a mod on the channel. I'm sorry. Here, let me give it to you in the private chat.
Mm-hmm.
And
What the hell?
What the bloody hell?
He was a moderator before. I don't know what the.
You took it away from me. You don't.
I wouldn't do that. YouTube has done that before. They've all removed somebody's moderators. What the? I didn't remove them.
Oh. You know they dropped the new Discovery trailer.
No, did they? So there's the Captain Track. I just put it in the private chat if you want to share it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they dropped a new.
But I would ask you guys, and so check that out, Chief Cook. You tell me.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to look at it.
There.
Okay.
Now it's correct.
I'm going. Okay. I might have. Okay, I'm gonna look at it right.
It's only
quick.
a 9-second clip.
Okay.
Okay, let's see here. I'm going to listen to this. Let's see here. And it's loading. What? Somebody. Oh, yeah, there's definitely no doubt. You darn stubborn. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no doubt. Anybody who says it's not, yeah.
Yeah, well, let's see. No, I can't. Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm a mod. There you go. You should be able to check it now. I just put it in there.
All right. Good morning, LDG.
Morning. Oh boy.
LD, why the flat face?
Just finished clearing out my dad's closet. Holy shit. Good news is we found a lot of stuff. My father was so organized. The only thing he didn't have record for is how many times and where and when he took breaths. Oh. Just found my my envelope where he kept all my report cards and work that he was proud of. It's like this thick. Going back to
find your mugs?
Kindergarten. Huh? Mugs?
Did you find your mugs? You were going to look for. You said he used to take your coffee mugs.
Oh, we're not at that stage yet. I'm leaving the
okay.
mugs for last.
Gotcha.
Right now, we're just going through his room and just clearing everything out. But it's hard because I got two ladies in there that are just trying to rip through everything. So I had to like kind of make sure anything sentimental wasn't thrown away. And I caught a few things. So that's good. But besides that, I'm just tired right now because
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, you said it. I saw the clip.
no, I'm good. I'm good. Whoa.
Is it me or LG look younger?
Yeah, it's the filter.
Got some filter or something? You look younger, LG.
What are you using for? Are you
Snap cam.
Huh?
Snap cam. Snap.
I just want to make
Like
sure I
Thanos.
don't install it on my computer.
You look like one of those Marvel. Yeah, you look like one of those Marvel characters on the What If.
What if? That's what I'm saying. You don't need $1 billion
like
to look this good.
Wait, you consider that good?
Oh yeah, you kidding me? It's better than What If. Those graphics sucked. Shit, I can draw better in my sleep.
You look just like one of them. No, look, no gray hair, no nothing.
Well, yeah, no hair.
Yeah, that's You can cut the frock in the back, but no.
Well, at least he's
It's
not
a frog,
using
man.
Don't say it, or I will.
LD China filter.
He has an LD Gina filter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a woke filter.
What?
A what?
A woke filter.
Oh, let's see it.
Okay, what's it? I can see that.
All right, Captain Trek. I have been asked for this. Okay, so
I know.
do not blame me for
I'm
doing
not blaming you. I brought it up.
asked for it.
Go.
He's going to get it.
Oh, now you
Oh,
actually
shit.
look human.
Whoa. Whoa.
Wow, you know what? Now you look just like the bird, one of Bird's shemales.
Oh. Oh my
Hey,
God.
big boy. How you doing? Yeah. What are you doing inside?
Wow.
Damn.
Now you see.
You look good. He
Thank you.
That
Don't
look
you look
good.
good? Oh yeah, baby.
So, what Chinese company are you giving all your information to for downloading this?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Oh
Now,
my.
hey, I have the anti-trucker. I have the anti-trucker filter.
Oh my.
Hey, how you doing? This would be perfect for you. Get your logo.
Well, unless they have a salty version of that, it's not going to do you much good.
Could be.
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. Anywho, I haven't been listening, so how's the day going?
He's a god now. You're a super god now with white eyes.
Yeah. No, I couldn't listen because I've been in the room.
Well, let's see. Bird's on the verge of death. I'm on the verge of death.
I heard.
Yeah.
My father died, so
yeah,
you're doing better than him.
Anyway, speaking of which, breakfast is just about ready, so I need to get running. With that, now that LD is creeping everybody out with his eyes, I will say have a wonderful whatever it is in your relative time zone, And have a good one, everybody.
Later.
Thank you.
Take it
Thank
easy,
you,
Captain.
Salty. You too.
Wake up, bird.
Said what?
You said that
Sassy,
Al-
are you
Kronos.
talking in your sleep again?
you said that LD Gina was your girlfriend.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah,
not say
I don't know where that came from, Bird, but that was freaky. Did you dream of LD Jenna?
Did I say
Is that
that?
what it is? Yeah,
I
you
don't
did.
think so. I
I
highly
got a phone
doubt.
call. 1 second.
What happened? How did I become the only one on the panel?
I don't know. All of a sudden, I was kicked out of the studio, and boom.
Yeah. Same
I
thing to
don't
me.
know. I guess
So kind
everybody
of
got
OG.
booted.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I wasn't watching the stream, so I didn't know I was the only one on. Then it seemed like, oh, why is no one else talking?
Oh yes, Bird is here, and I thought you were going to start your stream there, Bob Mike, or is that at 11? All right. I mean, I don't know what time it is where you are, so. And by the way, welcome
New kicks.
everyone. Sorry that the conversation kind of took over and I wasn't able to welcome people. Oh, start at 9 a.m. your time. So it's 10, 9. Oh, it's 8:35 now. So yeah, it would start in about 25 minutes. Cool. Well, you're welcome to come on here for now if you'd like. I mean, it's just me, Bird, and Chief Cook now. Perhaps you could let us know what the Jet Nerdy is about today. Let me see something. Yep, Kronos is here. Because I'm on later today. That's why. Kronos is usually asleep now. Sidekicks, Jet Nerdy. I have no idea. So, do you have the players for today, or are you still looking for players? Because there's still 14 here watching. If any of you know Sidekicks, and Vile Mike has Sidekick comic movie cartoon Sidekick characters. Okay, cool. Anyone wants to join if Mike doesn't have a full thing? No players are set up. Okay, well, Vile Mike can always use extra players. So just he'll put in the stream link again, of course,
I go.
And you can go over there and you can play. I'll watch, of course, but yeah, I can even put in wrong answers. But yeah, there's no way I can actually, you know, the only way I could actually put in a right answer is if I was just totally off the wall and happened to be right, because I wouldn't know it. I can almost guarantee this. And good morning, Darius. Thank you for being here. Wrong answers are appreciated when, especially when they're funny. Well, I would try to make them funny. So, and have a great day, Darius. Take care of yourself. And good morning, games, movies, and comics for us. How have you been? Okay. We're going to play the coffee clip. Yes, we were too busy before to do it. So we're going to go ahead and play the coffee clip now. Since I can find it.
Listen to me very carefully, because I'm only going to say this once. Coffee. Black.
Coffee. Black. While I've got your attention, there are...
Coffee first. Well, this mentor would like another cup of coffee. I'm just gonna have to give up coffee. Want some coffee?
If I'm not mistaken, that's your third cup this morning.
Fourth, and on a day like today, it won't be my last. Coffee. The finest organic suspension ever devised. Commander, set a new course. There's coffee in that nebula.
Well, there we go. Showing the coffee clip. Hopefully you're satisfied. And hopefully you will be seeing this tomorrow. That's assuming I still have 500 subscribers tomorrow. And I still don't have my community tab. So screw you, YouTube. Where's my community tab? They lowered it to 500 subscribers or more last month. I want my community tab. I didn't look to see if Jedi Bill has his yet. But so somebody in the chat wouldn't mind checking Jedi Bill out, Jedi Bill's profile out. I know he's in the chat before. Mike says, yeah, I'm still about half that in subs. You should be having a lot more. Okay, true. They are overrated. Hey, I looked at your posts. I look at your posts regularly. Okay, I don't always comment on them, but I do look at them. So you actually need to hype your community tab more during your streams, particularly if you're going to have a I don't know, survey or something, or or you want to promote a certain channel or something in there, you might want to say in the streams, check out my whatever in my community tab. That way it'll encourage people to go there more often. So I promise I will start responding more to them now. And Kronos is an individual, not part of the community. Part of a community. You're not part of a community. Okay, that's interesting there. I've watched Community. Does that count? I would say no, but Oh, Kronos. Ninja Lives Matter. So, I guess Kronos is going to be right back because he's got to get coffee. Drink coffee, Kronos. Drink coffee. Anyhow. And good afternoon, Mar. How are you today? And you doing okay, Bird?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm also working on getting Twilight Zone set up.
Okay.
Because I forgot about it, and it's a little late in the morning than I usually want it to be before I first start working on it.
Well, yeah, that would. I'm sure by now you're usually done with it, but
yeah. Especially for a 2:30 day. So.
Oh, it's at 2:30 today. I didn't know that.
2:30 is the new usual time for Sundays. So.
Oh, that's right. You're moving it forward, so there's an extra half hour for
Question of Track.
Question of Track. Yes.
Yes.
Let's see here. It's about 10 minutes until Vile Mike starts. Let me go ahead and see who is backstage real quick.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. How are you doing today, Kinjack Ben?
Well, I'm doing fine, considering today is the last day I get to stay in my current residence. So I was unable to avoid staying in a tent through the winter, pretty much. I'm not looking forward to it, but it is my situation. So Yeah. So wait. I need to. And so I heard you guys having a really long pause, so I thought I would come in and stir things up a little, like I did
Absolutely.
yesterday.
Absolutely.
So my topic for today is my theory that I think the original intention for holograms was that they would have a physical form, because it doesn't necessarily work as a story device, as a storytelling device for people to bond with the character if it's a program, if it's an AI, because it's difficult for people to care about a program that's like a cell phone, because that's what they're essentially asking you to do, is to give a crap about a cell phone.
Oh, it's a little out there. But anyhow, go ahead and head on over to Vile Mike's stream. And I'll put the link in the chat again. Feel free to join Vile Mike. He is going to be doing a sidekick stream. The Jep Nerdy is going to be about sidekicks. Go ahead, go on over there. And unless he's got a full panel already, you can join in and see what, maybe play along or just watch along.
Excuse me. I will mute.
I do want to thank everybody who's been on the panel and everybody who's been in chat. Please go on over and join Vile Mike. And thank you again for joining. Have a great day.